Well, welcome to the Wileyverse. We are back once again playing Savage Rifts on Tuesdays. With me is, as always, is Mitch playing the glitter boy James McKellar, not called Play-Doh anymore.
We haven't been in the South for a long time. So.
You're still in the South. Kansas is South. Also, we got Beats by Dre over here, or Beats by Day. Dayton playing Beethoven, the dog boy, who is now in power armor. I am Wiley. I am running the campaign, as well as the NPC Shawnee, a Atlantean undead slayer. So, I think we're going to do a quick recap, which is you were sent off by your benefactors at Castle Refuge to locate, or to find out what was going on in Kansas, and locate a cyber knight named Praxis, who had gone there to seek his mentor. When you got to Kansas, you were looking for Praxis. Folks at the university, a magic school, teaches leyline walkers and other magic users, told you that Praxis was known to the Vernon brothers, and they were also somewhere out on a mission somewhere. And you were tasked to find out what they were up to. So then you went all over Kansas and found out all kinds of crazy stuff that was going on in Kansas. But it all led you back to the Vernon's farm, where they split 4 ways, or at least 3 ways, which brought you back to Dodge City, where you discovered Ma and Pa Vernon, Grandma and Grandpa Vernon, who kind of brought you up to speed with what the Vernons were up to, which is a whole bunch of corruption is going on in Kansas. There's some evil stuff going down, and the Vernon brothers split up to go deal with it in 2 fronts. You were speaking with Daisy, an old companion of the group, Vernon and group, and they said, or she said, she could lead you at least to a close approximation as to where one of the Vernons is.
And she can take us to which one? Because Deus went to where Praxis was.
Deus went to where Praxis was.
And Vernon went...
To the wall. To the rise.
To the rise.
Yeah. The wall, the rise, it's called a whole bunch of things, but that massive
we don't
wall.
want to go.
Yeah,
she can take you to where Deus is.
Okay.
Or at least close.
And that's the one where it's invisible, like we don't really know. All right, cool.
It's an invisible spire. She was only told of it. She was unconscious for the entire time she was there, but she knows where they were about.
Okay.
So,
because I think we both were like, that's where we went ahead, because we were trying to find Praxis, and although Vernon's mission seems exciting, it doesn't have the end game that we're looking for.
Plus, I'm not feeling too comfortable about that witch telling me that, go to the wall. See you there.
Yeah.
I'll see you there. You also, when you got back to Dodge City, had a whole bunch of messages because everyone under the sun wanted a piece of your time or abilities or what have you. I think you were going to follow up on at least going back to the university and checking in with them.
Mm-hmm. And then we got paid coffee for something too. Was that just as a token of gratitude? I thought we were supposed to.
You didn't get paid coffee. That was from the Cozy Six. That was from Montgomery.
Montgomery gave me some of his personal stash, but it wasn't in exchange for anything.
Nope.
Oh, okay. Couldn't remember if that was the case or not.
His attendant, or however you want to. What are they called at hotels? The people that have
bellhop.
No, the ones that know all the stuff around town and can get you tickets and get you concierge. Yeah, his concierge brought you the messages and some of his personal coffee.
Gotcha.
But there didn't seem to be any strings attached. Just good guest service.
Perfect. There's minor damage to my armor. My pitons were damaged. I was able to repair them to a certain degree. Is there someplace around here besides the Ironworkers Union that I can get this work done?
Daisy says she has a garage you can use with parts.
I would need to do that first before we do anything else.
She gives you directions. Says don't take no lip from no one.
Gotcha. What are you doing?
So you went off pretty early the next day. It wasn't too early. It was still around midday when you got there. Like it was around noon when you got there. But you're at the the Bad Deal Saloon with the grandparents Vernon and Daisy and her little crew of folks, and they're keeping the grandparents protected and making sure no one knows about them. And that's one thing they do say: hey, whatever you do, if you're going to go meet these other people, don't tell them the Vernon folk are here.
All right. Well, I'm going to go off to the garage then. That's what I would do.
Who were we talking to? Because when we got these messages, talked to someone afterwards. Two of the messages were kind of from Power
and Water. Dodge City Power and Water.
They told us that, like, oh yeah, like
Dodge.
this lady's like corrupt, blah blah blah. Like,
No, the Vernons were the ones talking about that.
okay.
Yeah, Matilda Red wanted to speak to us about the grid as soon as we had possible time. And then Nina Key, who's a technocrat, wanted to welcome us back and probably discuss some stuff.
Matilda Red is the head of the power grid, and she said that she would be really interested in meeting you.
And then Reggie Wright from the university wants us to check in. That was the one we were going to do as well.
But from what it sounds, the Vernons, the Grandpa and Grandma Vernon, are biased against Dodge City Power and Water because they blame them for the loss of their daughter and the separation of their daughter with her husband and the loss of their daughter eventually to the Rise. But from what they were
dicks, right? They were kind of generally dicks to the farm. They wanted everybody included.
They want everyone a part of their little conglomerate to be part of homesteading and in their network. The more people they can control, the more power they get, pretty much. Or the more it's not control. The more people that owe them, the more people that they have their equipment on their farms, they get their little fingers and everything. Is the way they say it. But the Vernons, you gather, the Vernon brothers had said something to them that even rattle or confirmed / fanned the flames of those biases. That it seems that the witches are having a real easy time going around from homestead to homestead.
Oh, that's right.
Messing with the generators and using them to open these rifts or to corrupt the land around them.
That's right.
So there is speculation that there is corruption in Dodge City Power and Water that is helping the witches.
Alright, so we are still at, or we just left the...
You are still at the Bad Deal.
You need to go fix
He's going to go get his armor and head back into Outlawville to a garage.
I know we looked that up, but I've been calling him Python for so long that Piton just sounds funny in my mind
Right.
now.
I am okay with however you pronounce it. If we ever play Warhammer 40k like as a stream, there is so much bad Latin and there are so many words that are completely made up that I've never heard anyone that's works for the company or anything, because it's just you read books and it has all the names in them, that I am absolutely 100% certain that I'm going to be saying all the words wrong.
Well, what is it? You and I were... I think we talked more than once about how to pronounce Nyarlathotep's name.
Yeah. Nyarlathotep, and there's a couple others.
I called him Nyarlathotep for a long time. Nyarlathotep and Nyarlathotep.
There's Azathoth. That's another one. Azathoth. Azatote, or something like. There's a couple other pronunciations. So it's gaming. We read these things. They're based off of made up words anyway, and none of us are the author, or probably have ever even heard the author ever say the words.
Well, I'm going to say Piton because we found it.
Right.
We actually found the pronunciation. I've been saying it wrong for so long that it sounds wrong to say Piton.
That sounds more fun if you're playing with a Piton than a Python.
Yep.
That's true.
Piton.
All right.
Python, Piton. I think the point is across. And I think there's another word for him as well. I can't remember what it is. But yeah, you have armor to fix. Daisy says she'll meet you there.
All right.
Because if you're going to go with her, or if she is going to guide you to this place, then she needs to work on her armor as well.
I got some nice coffee.
I mean, I know this is one of the situations where I'm not supposed to split up the party and go have separate talks, but like I don't have anything I really need to repair per se. I go look for somewhere that sells grenades and stuff.
You can. Daisy can also point you in a direction for that as well, unless you want to try your luck somewhere else in town. Which you still have not ever gone into Dog City.
He's too good for that.
Ding.
If I remember correctly, though, we're all without armor right now.
You are outside of your armor.
Yeah.
You're probably in your normal, like, armor, your personal armor.
I want to say, like, we all left it at the Cozy Six.
Correct.
Because
they have a yard that they lock it up in.
We had a debate about that.
Like, I've got to go get mine and bring it, but you don't have to be power armored.
What do you do?
I don't know, part of me just wants to go to the university and talk to...
And you can key, like Shawnee would be with you, and you can bring him in by radio if you need to ask him any questions.
That's true.
If you want to just...
Let's just do that.
Get that out of the way.
Yeah.
Alright.
So I honestly am more about, like, we gotta get whatever we need to get done in town. We need to get back on that road, and we have no idea, like, what the situation is that we need to get to, I guess.
I actually forgot that the university was in Dodge. I was like, well, we gotta go to there, so let's get everything done before we go to the university.
And Dodge itself is split up between multiple cities now. It's Diagon Alley, where the little rift is, or not the rift, the ley line is. And that's where Dodge City Power and Water and the university. Then it's Dog City, Outlaw Town. Dog City, Outlaw Town.
I'm trying to help you, but I'm getting Daggerford in my head.
Daggerford.
So I'm like, well, the castle district is up on the northwest. Oh wait, this is the wrong.
It's
City Hall is there somewhere? I don't know.
yeah. There's real Dodge City. There's Dodge City, Dog City, Outlaw City, and Diagon Alley. So that's the four main ones. But yeah. So, is that what you're going to do?
Yeah.
So, you go back, get your glitter boy, you walk him back into Outlawville, into a garage, where there is a bear of a man. And I'm not kidding, he is a bear.
A bear man.
A bear man. Just, like, he looks like a cartoon. He looks like he's actively cultivating the cartoon appearance, because he's got like the straw hat and the big oversized like jeans with just the red suspenders and no shirt on, so he looks like
Smokey
Smokier or any of those old cartoon bears, like. And he kind of tries to mess with you, like, well, that's a big shiny piece of walking cannon right there. How much for?
Oh, Jesus. You know this is not for sale. Daisy sent me to work on some of the footwork on this.
Daisy. Not sure if I've heard that name before. Who's this Daisy?
What? wait. She's a mutual friend, I believe we have, unless this isn't your garage.
Oh, well, this is my garage, but I don't remember pushing no daisies.
What is her real name?
That
It's
is
Daisy.
Yeah, it's Daisy.
Yeah. Well, it's funny.
Remember, he said, "Don't take any lip from him."
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what.
With them, no?
I was just about to say the same thing. What's it?
Huh?
Well, I thought you said
Daisy was going to the garage,
She's gonna.
but she was going to meet him there.
Yeah.
Well, I guess you'll meet her when she gets here. Stand aside, Bear Man.
Well, I can't rightly say no to you now, can I? But you just go pushing people around? That's not very glitter-like.
Oh, only when they stand in front of me.
All right, well, try not to bang up the place.
All right. I'll try not to step on your toes while I'm at it. What was your name, Bear Man? You didn't name him.
I haven't named him yet. I kind of want to just go with Blue, so his name is Blue.
The color or the
color?
Blue?
BLU.
Gotcha.
BLU. That's it. Blue.
The blue, I'm silver. I wouldn't say that. It could be James. You can call me Plato.
Like the kids' toy? Little gummy stuff?
I like the word silver in Spanish.
Oh, Plato. And he starts speaking Spanish in a southern accent.
I would probably repeat it. We would battle our bad Spanish against each other. ¿Dónde está la biblioteca?
¿Dónde está el baño?
Tú es mi amigo nuevo.
So heading inside, it's a pretty nice bay of power armor and robot armor workshops. So it's got like, the things that come under your arms that can hold up the suit. You've got a underground bay you can walk through so you can get underneath it. Any pieces and parts are going to cost, but he has got an entire bin, and basically every time you take something from bins, there's a little scanner on top, and it just starts, your bay just has a little ticker, and it's hourly plus whatever parts you use.
How long is this going to take? It's not major damage.
It's not major damage. Just an hour at most. Possibly, maybe more if you want to shine up all the holes and other stuff. He does have chromium to patch up any of the burns and scrapes. He also has ammunition.
I'm actually gonna need some of that. I'm low.
I'm low. If you want to buy it.
How much is he charging for ammo?
You found the price once. Don't worry about looking it up now.
Yeah.
But just we'll look it up between.
I don't want to get crazy because I'm low on ammo, but I don't know when we're gonna make money again. So I'll look at that while you do your thing.
Okay. So you're heading to the University with Sean.
Mm-hmm.
Are you power arming up or not?
No.
You do realize that the university is on a ley line.
Then yes.
the
Thought last time I didn't, but I guess I must have.
You were in your power armor. You can not get close. I mean, you can try to meet him somewhere off university, but you'd have to contact him somehow.
No, it's fine. Me and Shauna will go back to the Cozy 6, grab my power armor, and then we can head over to the university.
All right. So you head to the university. It looks like the university. Everyone's out there. You go to the big, grand main building where you went before, or where the chancellor took you before. Chancellor Reggie Wright said he looks like pretty much like a caricature of, was it Roosevelt? He's got the big handlebar mustache, the glasses, the vest, and like the dress slacks, shirt, vest. I think it's Roosevelt. No, not Roosevelt.
This book is so much cooler now that I know what it means when I read through it.
Who am I thinking of? Theodore Roosevelt, not the other one.
Theodore Roosevelt Boulevard or Drive. The other one, that's not the right place where Sean is.
He is basically like that, but no jacket over top, just the vest, the tie. Big man, short.
So you walk with a big stick?
No, he does not. Doesn't walk with anything, really. He's got big hands. Like, he is short, like kind of like slab-chested, just glasses. And the big bushy mustache with like even the twists coming out at the end. So you go in there, you say, he's expecting you, this and that. It doesn't take that long before he appears and says, "Oh, the boardroom is so stuffy. Let's go for a walk. I know that you don't rightly like the ley lines around here." So he heads out, like basically to walk across the yard and the campus and kind of into the extended area of the university.
Laser drill pylons.
Pylons. That's the word I was looking for. Pylons.
When that's the case, like, they have areas to park my armor in, right? And if we're going to go outside, I can just park it and have to move it away.
Get out of it.
But I'm still... Technically, I don't like to hang out in armor all the time, but...
As he's walking along with you, asking how your activities went, how your pursuit of the Vernons went, and you're telling him whatever you're going to tell him. He seems only kind of half listening, and you guys get to a nice area where there's not as many students around, all that. He gives a quick, like, "I apologize," and casts a spell. And you just feel this kind of, like, bristly, like, kind of, like, all over your skin fuzziness. Your senses go off, of course, because magic is in use. It's like a quick anti-scrying spell. Things have gotten quite interesting. Well, quite frankly, since Praxis's appearance, and now with your following up. I don't know who to trust anymore. But you and your shiny friend seem to, and the Cyber Knights you are after, are pretty much the only ones by nature I feel are beyond suspicion.
What sort of things do you mean by interesting?
Well, there were some interesting fluctuations at the university's power grid, and some of our more techno-savvy students were able to decipher that things were being added into our lines that not only transmitted energy but returned energy back. Essentially, we were being spied on. And it's not the first time that Dodge City Power and Water has contested us, the university, as a power base here in town. But it seems very directed, especially since it was targeted at buildings that only faculty used. That's why we're not in the boardroom right now.
$300 a shot. And that 1,000 shots thing is a known either typo or misunderstanding. So it is 100 shots, not 1,000. So. Sorry.
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 Sorry. It's so invigorating being your hat.
Well, I would basically, even if I hadn't heard that first, like, I have no reason to not tell him pretty much everything that happened when we left.
So
I literally didn't hear it while I read, sorry.
That's fine. You were busy working. So what you're getting over the radio, and Shawnee's trying to keep you tuned in, is that the Chancellor believes that Dodge City Power and Water is spying on the university. And it seems particularly aimed at the faculty and staff. And it's been escalating or going harder now ever since Praxis and everybody else in tow, since the Praxis and the Vernons and you have all shown up and stirred all these pots, essentially, that their spying has increased. So you tell him everything from you leaving here, you going to the... Just quick recap. Going to the orchard, heading north to the path, getting ambushed by the coalition, finding a fight between what seemed to be the Vernons and the Ironworkers Union, following the path, even though it's split off, going through the woods, encountering the witches, the witch ravens.
I would say, yeah, I might have left out the first part because he knows who Coalition is. It doesn't need
that. So it doesn't need that.
I would go to mainly the forest, the witch touch ravens, crows, or whatever they were.
Do you mention the Quivera that you met afterwards? The natives?
Well, I would just say there were some people that came by and knew what they were dealing with. Don't know who they were.
Okay.
But they weren't hostile towards us. Then we eventually made our way up to...
They weren't friendly, though, either, when I tried to come up and ask for medical attention.
Yeah.
They still helped. Begrudgingly.
Was the next stop the actual Vernon farm, or was it...
The next stop was the Coleman and Touch.
Coleman and Touch.
The factory farm.
Where we blasted, or I blasted pretty much everything.
So
Yeah.
I would talk about that place, too. Obviously, more witch stuff, witch touch, and witches, whatever. And then...
Vernon Farm. Do you tell them about the encounter? Do you tell them about the witch touch magma wombats?
Yes.
Do you tell them about the witch?
Absolutely, I do.
Okay. Now we're getting into some more interesting things. You coming back here, you don't tell them about the Vernons here, or do you? Because Daisy specifically said not to mention that the Vernon family is here.
See, it's good that she said that, because I wanted to tell him that we had heard some weird things about power and water.
You can tie that into...
But I wouldn't tell him who I heard it from. Just like while we were out, some people we ran into, like...
Or you could just put two and two together and be like, it seems like everywhere we went, power and water had already been there.
And you could even say, like, the Vernon farm, like, there was evidence there that they suspected power and water.
Yeah, I wouldn't mention that we met any Vernons.
And then back to here.
Mm-hmm.
So you actually...
magic crap that I don't understand.
You actually spoke to a witch. And that's the first... That is the first encounter that we've had on register for nearly 20 years.
Well, it wasn't delightful, I'll tell you that much.
Well. I wouldn't imagine it should be. It's very disturbing that they're back in such force. The ironworkers pretty much ran them out of Wichita back when it was still called Witchy City. They were trying to concoct some ritual there. It looks like they just headed for the hills and spread themselves out. Or they consolidated in another city. Huh.
I'm polite to you. She was polite.
She let you shut the door in her face.
She didn't attack me, but she still scares the shit out of me.
Well. What's your plan next, then?
Well, as far as I know, and I'll confer with James, we gotta try to go find Praxis. And apparently one of the Vernon brothers may be with him.
They'll split tracks from the farm. Right. So he reaches into his pocket and he pulls out. Excuse me while I whip this out.
It's part magical. I don't know. I don't like magic.
He reaches into like its coat pocket and he pulls out this little medallion of what looks to be like a phone receiver, and he hands it to Shawnee and says, "This is that something like this is something I had created for me specifically. It's a method, one-way method, one shot to send messages. Like, if you need anything from the university, if you need help, you need to let us know about something, especially if discovery of any collusion with these witches and any of the power bases around here, like power and water. You can use that to send me a message. It only works once, so keep that in mind."
And it's techno-wizardry looking stuff then.
Sort of and sort of not.
So would he be able to use it then?
He won't be able to use
Shawnee's
it.
gonna
That's why I
use
should give it to
Okay,
Shawnee.
I'm sorry I missed that part. Okay.
Yeah.
It's weird when you talk to yourself.
Yes. No, the whole time, like it's weird when like I'm the only person with like I made a character that has charisma. Shit, that means I have to talk to myself.
Right.
Make charisma, people. I know.
This time.
Finally.
And my other game too. My other game is very, very charismatic. Actually, Grace.
East
is,
Rock.
Yeah, Grace is more charismatic than East Rock is.
Actually, he's got like him and Grace both have 18s.
Oh yeah.
Because sorcerers are based off of charisma.
In the other game, I think like everyone has great charisma.
Except Nori. Nori has okay charisma. She has like 15 or something
No
like
one's
that.
as bad though. It's like
They just get to keep
it's like
failing the East Rock
it's
guy.
the opposite
The
of
East Rock
all
guy.
our other games.
You failing the East Rock guy and every girl you meet is the best.
It's priceless.
It worked on the dude though.
It worked on the dude.
It did.
The dude dragon kid.
Doesn't matter when it's elf,
Whatever.
Yeah. I'm just pretty.
So, this is right now. We're taking our top students. We're taking precautions. I'm meeting with the other council members outside of Dodge City Power and Water to make sure that Dodge City is protected in case things go bad. Obviously, with the coalition at our doorstep and us just relying on the Ironworkers Union, we also are. It's easy to Geis are gearing up for battle with that. But things are getting troublesome. These witches has everyone spooked.
Speaking of those witches, do they or their touched animals have any kind of weakness?
Well, magic. Most every witch touched and witch we've seen specializes in something. So you have to figure out what its weakness is individually. And this is from back in the days of Witchy City when we were facing them head on in there. They can fortify themselves, but anytime they do, they sacrifice something else. Now, besides the witch touched and the witches themselves, be careful, there are things from wherever dimension they are from that are much bigger and are witch, how do you say, witch native creatures. So they aren't the witches, they aren't the witch touched of the corrupted earth life, but they are demons and creatures from their realm as well. The Vernon said that they fought one at the first farm they went to. Large, four-armed creature, demonic-looking with the 6 eyes.
Your witch had 6 eyes, right?
Yep, yeah. They all have 6 eyes. Even little birds had 6 eyes.
That's right.
That's the first show of Witch Touched. It's the extra eyes.
Oh, does Reggie here have any knowledge or thought on that thing we found, those stones sticking out that he tried to push and it
They've just always been in Kansas.
But it looked like Shawnee's like, I can maybe go into one, but...
So the moment you bring that up and Shawnee starts speaking of it, it blows Reggie's mind, and he goes, what? Because he knows a little bit about stone magic and like the portal creation, all that stuff, but he's never met an Atlantean or knew that they all had innate stone magic. So he spends about a good 30 minutes drilling Shawnee on the whole thing, and the explanations come out like a couple things. He thinks that they're tied to the Rise somehow. So he can't be for certain. It's just a theory he has that when the Rise came up and the ground, that much ground broke up, that other parts of Earth tried to come with it, and it came out. Hearing her talk about it's connected to some other place and all that kind of stuff furthers a second theory he has, which the Rise may not be totally from Kansas. That two dimensions may actually be trying to coexist. He talks about England, like when the rifts happened in England, Avalon returned. So London is just gone. It's just now a forested realm of elves and fae and all that stuff. Like sometimes in Rift's Earth, things just get replaced from other times, other places. The landscape just completely changes. And you guys, well, you know this from way back when, that castle up in Minnesota that was just there, which you led the dragon to, which is also where the Skullwalker was with all of its minion Skelebots. But that castle didn't belong to this Earth. It came from somewhere else. So he's thinking that the Rise in Kansas is not just Kansas lifted up. It is another entire dimension trying to coexist here, but neither one is taking precedence. Neither one stamped out the other. So that's why it's up and broken and can't get to, because it's locked in some transdimensional state as it's trying to phase in, and Earth is not letting it.
Gotcha.
And that these little pillars might be offshoots, like if the other realm were to bring fully through, that everything would become that other realm.
Gotcha.
It would just throughout the entire Earth, or at least a very large area until its magic ran out. So yeah, it's like 30 minutes of drilling and then another like 30 minutes to 45 minutes of him theorizing on all of this information. And he's just like, he whips out a pad of paper and he's scribbling notes, and him and Shawnee are bouncing ideas back and forth. So
how long are you gonna be?
He's wrapping up. Daisy is there, and Daisy can help you out. She's pretty damn handy with a wrench. And she's fascinated by the glitter boy. She has a Titan flying power armor. Just like she had in the old days.
It's obviously a new one.
Yes, that one is way gone. And this one's a little bit beefed up because it's got to support more weight. Oh, slapping her ears against the chair. Dandy. Bandolier. Nope.
When she hears it, there she goes.
Hi. What are you doing?
You can see her tail in the
Just. Oh. What? Come stick your head up. She's so close.
She's like the fun bacon.
Alright. So that's interesting. of course, there's a quick little aside of, hey, if you say you can move through this like it's some type of magical portal, wow, if we could only find an Atlantean or somebody that can know stone magic to try to pull something through it. Like, of course, Shawnee's busy doing this other stuff, so can't mess with that. But if whatever dimension they're from is is destroyed or gone or also going through the same turmoil, then anyone passing through one of those pillars could just go to the void and die. So not like you want to send someone through willy-nilly.
Alright, so I need $1,800 worth of ammo. And then what is the cost going to be for repair?
We'll call it $2,500. So 40... 18 plus 25. 42.
43, sorry.
43. So 4,300. 4,300.
So now that Shawnee and him have gone back and forth on this stone stuff, does he have any opinions about what we're off to do?
Nope. He says, well, did you tell him that the Vernons split? Did you tell him that some Vernons went north and some Vernons went to the Rise?
Well, he told him that one of the Vernons went with Praxis in a different direction.
Or went to Praxis, or where Praxis was.
That's all he said. And then he immediately, Reggie says, oh, they split tracks after there. So.
Yeah. But did you tell him where the other one went? Did you happen to mention the other one went to the Rise?
Probably would have just said one went north, one went west.
Yeah. So he doesn't mention much more on that. Nope, that's it. He goes, is there anything you need from is there anything the university can do to help you?
Is there anything Sean needs magic-wise?
I'll say like the university can do much for me.
Nope, she's good.
Unless they're carrying like grenades at the university, which would be odd. I think I'm good.
Do you want to go purchase grenades before heading back?
I'm really not that low. But
No?
What? We're about to leave the biggest city we've ever been in.
No, I said why not? Like I might as well,
why not?
but I am also.
I thought you said I'm not. Like it sounded like you said I'm not. Both of us
No.
were like, what?
No, I said why not? Even though I'm not that low.
Now, the only ones you can't get replaced here are the fusions.
It's okay. I haven't used any of those since we left Refuge. Right?
Correct.
That's where I was getting those. Yeah. I just need 3 AP, 3 plasma, and 3 high explosive. Are you looking at the prices?
Yeah.
Um,
You have them written down?
I do have them written down.
No, then just spend your money.
Okay.
Do you go to Outlawville to get them, or do you go to Dodge City, Outlawville, or Dog City?
How would I know which one of these areas has this stuff?
Daisy already said that she can point you in the direction of a place that sells them in Outlawville.
Well, let's do that.
All right. Easy enough. Just pay.
I feel like there's a weird thing going on if I go to Dog City or Dog District, whatever it is.
I have a feeling there's a reason you're avoiding it. And if it is, that's a good reason to avoid it. It costs 20% more in Outlawville.
Daisy's hook fucking showing me to a good place. What the hell?
Well, and that's a good price for Outlawville. And you don't know like what the other places would be either. You have a feeling that because the Ironworkers Union is here, that they probably have a kind of a monopoly on ordnance. So 10% twice, add it back. So if it's 700, 70, 140, 840. That's how you figure out tipping.
I usually just
Take the tax and do something with it. I only take 10% and then increment it 20%, 30%.
It is the easiest way to do percentages if you want to do that. Just knock a zero off and add them together.
Yeah. Alrighty then. While you're there, and if you're not like in your headphones listening to what's going on, especially when they start waxing magical theory on these standing stones, Daisy will tell you about her encounter with the witches.
That sounds
or
good.
the witch touched and all that stuff.
I'll just ask her if she knows anything about these. She said she'd had some interaction with them before.
Right. So her story to you is her and her partner Jax encountered a cyber knight coming through who was looking for someone that Jax knew. So they left their post because it was a kind of important thing going on. The person was that important to Jax. And they head out. They meet up with the Vernons on a road. There's some crazy guy with a grenade launcher. But he disappears. And they just drive up to this farm, because the Vernons are heading to this farm that hasn't been heard from a while. And they're going to go check on it for power and water.
Is Daisy your only NPC for that game?
No.
Okay.
So Daisy I asked if you wanted to keep her.
Yeah.
After she got injured, because you guys just carted her around, but Marquesa was the second NPC.
That's right. That's what it was. Sorry.
So you guys she went up to the farm, Jax, the Vernon brothers, and there was witch-touched cows. These, black, jet black cows with 6 eyes. Tough as hell for cows. Got through them, and she has to recount third party of what occurred, because they all kind of went in the farmhouse trying to figure out what was going on, when one of the Vernon brothers, it's like the techno wizard Vernon brother, went into the barn, and what he said is some power and water dropout, some third-rate techno wizard kid that was part of this farm, part of this family at the farm, had all the rest of his family in cages and had rigged up the power, the generator, the Techno-Wizard generator that Power and Water gives these homesteads to suck their life force out. And he was gray-skinned and started having slits of more eyes, so he was becoming witch-touched. And he flipped the switch, and the generator killed all the family and opened up a rift to a place of she's like, I saw it. It was black with a black horizon. It was just black on black on black, horrible realm. And this thing crawled out of it, and there was something even bigger behind it, pulling the strings and trying to widen the thing. Mm-hmm. And it took everything we had, everything we threw at it to destroy this demon that came through there. But that Vernon brother, he shut down the rift, and they destabilized it. I got blown out of the sky. That's when she's like, that's when this all happened. Pointing at her cybernetics. Mm-hmm. And after that, I was unconscious for the rest of the adventure. But these witch touched and what they're doing, and if any more of those portals are open somewhere, feeding these things through, it's bad for everyone.
Very awesome.
You forgot something?
Yeah, I need to get 2 more of those MA3 hand charges that go into my...
Did it have a price? I don't know if it had a price. If not, we're going to write it down right now.
You just plug them into the wall for a little bit.
I was like, I have no idea.
It seems like it would be...
Like, those are things that I forgot I need. Possibly need more of those that I don't have. Because he has 2 out of my 3. There's some goddamn wombats.
It worked, though.
Doesn't have anything there, so let's look. They're going to cost 2,000 credits a piece.
2,000?
Yep. And it takes you a while of going around to find someone that actually has them. So, you finish your stuff, you hang around with Daisy, he's out shopping after his stint with him. All in all, like, it's the rest of the afternoon into evening to get all your stuff done.
Okay. We should probably spend one more night in the...
And the cozy. Any other questions you have for Daisy about her encounter with witches, or any or her knowledge of the Vernons, her partner, or Ironworkers Union, or anything? Any questions for her?
I mean, all that. He'd probably ask if she could give us any kind of description of the boys that might help us find them or identify them when we see them.
Oh yeah, one won't keep his mouth shut. real geeky looking guy. I mean, heart of gold, but he's fine. The other one, ugly as sin, just kind of angry.
Shouldn't be too hard to figure out.
She gives you the full descriptions of the Vernons. She'll talk about Jax. She seems to like paint Jax in a Adonis sort of light.
I probably wouldn't know what other questions to ask about witches and things like that, but so I know the power, Dodge City Power and Water is fucking this all up. But what is about the Ironworkers Union? What is their deal? What's their hand in this, maybe?
Well, so I signed on with them because I was young and dumb, wanted some adventure. But when this whole thing with Jax came through and Praxis, I just felt it. I felt it in my bones that it was what I was supposed to do. So I ran off with them. Yeah, it was going AWOL. I didn't think much of it. And I heard the stories. Our how should you say it? Our foreman was kind of a dick. But I didn't really think they were corrupted. Mm-hmm. But after we went AWOL, from what I heard from Jax, is they got jumped by one of their requisition specialists, which I didn't realize was someone that hunts down anyone that they think is against them or has left them or owes them something. That's that group I guess you ran into, or what was left of them out on that trail.
Gotcha.
They started accusing Jax of not just going AWOL, but murdering the rest of our unit. And when we left, they were all dead asleep. I'm pretty sure that the Coalition moved in, executed anyone who was in that area, and then the Ironworkers just blamed it on us. But that was before the Coalition was even known to have been occupying. So now that I'm on this side, I'm in Outlawville and on the lam from Ironworkers Union. Yeah, I'm starting to see them for who they are. And they're just a bunch of... And the biggest bully on the playground, right? Like, keeps all the other bullies in line. Keeps all the best stuff for themselves.
Try to take the best stuff for themselves.
Mm-hmm. Right now, they're the only things between us and the Coalition, and that is terrifying. That's why Red Hand and the rest of us are trying to organize our own little posse.
Gotcha. Well, I appreciate the assistance.
Yeah, getting Praxis and anyone else from up north on our side, that would be a big help when the proverbial shit hits the fan and hits the turbine. So you guys staying one more night?
That makes sense. Let's go with you. I don't want to travel in the middle of the night. We've already had some run-ins with stuff later in the evening.
Oh.
I'd say stay there tonight after all the stuff we did today. Head out first thing in the morning.
Okay. So you guys are at the Cozy Six. You're sleeping. You don't. I mean, do you do anything odd at the Cozy Six? You don't do watches or anything like that? You're in a gated off, fenced off area. All right. So give me notice checks. -2.
What? Because we're sleeping.
Because you're sleeping.
Better not be an ambush.
What? Do you have the bonus to that?
I have some.
What do you have that for that?
Oh, I have danger sense.
Which gives you...
It actually says notice -2 before ambush or trap.
Okay.
Which I think
so
would
for
normally be like a -4 or something.
something like that. So for you, it's straight.
Yeah, I'm straight.
Heh.
Good news, everybody. The dreaded 7.
Rolled a 19 after my -2.
All right, so
Did you really?
Yeah.
you're sitting there, you're sleeping, and
2
like
weeks in the
you know,
front.
you're just always on alert. Like
Yeah.
you're a glitter boy. You're that kind of person. Even this nice cozy bed and all that stuff. Even like you spent one night here, or yeah, it was like one night before you left, like a week ago, and you already have the normal noises down. Like you know what the ice machine outside sounds like when it drops ice. You know what the normal city sounds are. But there's this sound, something just wakes you out of sleep. And you're like, eyes open. Every sense is telling you something isn't right in the room.
I mean, how are we laid out in this room? Is it like...
So it's, like I said, it's take an entire half of a motel, knock down all the walls, put up new walls, and it's like there's pony walls, there's a couple bathrooms, so it's a pretty sprawling area. There's a large lounge area, there's a kitchenette area.
We'll probably have our own room.
You'll have, yeah, there's 3 different rooms, and they're all like just walled off where the bed itself is.
So I'd get up and turn the lights on.
Now that you're conscious, make a notice check.
Hopefully it's as good as the last one. Off to a great start.
10.
All right. So you turn on the light, and you're still in your bedroom area. Are you like opening the door and hanging
I
out?
would be getting up, yeah, and getting out of the room.
Are you grabbing anything? Remember, you were sleeping, so you were in clothing.
Yeah.
Do you grab your little pistol?
I would probably grab my little pistol. And, I mean, can I easily kind of pull on my Huntsman lightweight?
No, that'll take
Then no,
10 minutes
I
to
feel like I'm
to put
probably
on.
overreacting anyway, so I'd probably just go out with my pistol.
Just open the door. I need to roll.
Did Shawnee notice anything?
So I'm rolling right now. Not enough. You and Shani are both kind of like, you kind of wake up, but you're still like, just weird place, weird city, weird sounds. I feel like you'll know this right off the bat, but I need to look it up somehow.
It's the French wallpaper.
Viva. It's got a soccer ball and everything.
Ooh.
There it is. All right. So, like you open the door and you hear like the normal like the hum of power. You hear like the ice machine, the refrigerator, all the normal stuff, and then there's this soft whirring. And you look through the down the line of all the room and all the open area, and you see that one of the windows is open.
I'm gonna go shut it. Yeah, I'm trying to decide if I would knock on the doors as I go by. Can I kind of knock on their doors as I walk to the window?
So you start walking out towards the other door.
Yeah, so I'm just going to quickly go down the line and knock on the doors kind of real quick as I go to the window.
As you're starting to walk towards the door, something behind the couch in front of you, behind one of the lounge areas, just unfolds itself and kind of jumps at you.
What does it look like?
The automatons from Dishonored 2.
Gotcha. They're not that big, are they?
It's 7 feet tall, 8 feet tall.
Yeah. So they're
Are they mechanical like that?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what they look like, exactly.
Yeah, it's just like it was all compact, crouching and hiding behind the couch, and then it's just lifts up.
A free action to
You can free action to scream.
Yeah. I can't or I can?
You can.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Does that mean we would hear that?
Yes, it does. 9 and a 5.
I guess
Right.
you have to go one round without us, though, so...
Yeah.
Pure James fashion.
1v1 combat.
4. Okay, there you go. Alright.
Damn, too bad they pulled 2.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they're quick. They're not level-headed. So you get a 4, and then drew into a king.
Okay.
So...
That's unfortunate.
That's unfortunate. All right. King goes first. So before you get your scream out, this thing just one of its legs flips over the couch and then comes at you, and it's doing just all 4 blades trying to assassinate you.
Sound good. Good thing I'm wearing PJs. I don't want to shred the Cozy 6, but I think we're going to have to. Grenade! Wait, what? No, don't do that.
What's your parry?
I like how he laughs.
7.
Asks, what's your parry?
Holy crap.
I'm
That's right, you're a
trained
martial artist and
yeah.
brawler.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to show this off because it's kind of fun.
Yeah, I don't know.
Sign of the devil.
Minus the 1 in there, right?
Yeah.
No, that's
The
not.
ones that,
So-
ones that count.
You're
A little worse.
all your martial arts and brawler training just go into effect. You're whoa! Just condense yourself, and all the blades and you're just you hit the back of the wall. All the blades are just all around you. That's its action. So your free action kicks off.
All right.
You yell.
Yeah, I yell, yeah. But I'm also going to try to put some space between me and it. Because I don't like my laser. If I stay right where I'm at, I'm going to get it.
Right, you can get some shots off at it, but if you don't kill it, it's just gonna.
Yeah, I mean, can I roll and shoot? I mean, it's
Absolutely.
really just to get some luck. I don't know if I can.
Let's do a double action.
You kind of disengaging right now?
He's kind of disengaging, but he's also attacking.
Yeah, there's a difference.
So let's get a...
I disengage, then I attack, okay?
Do you have athletics or...
Climbing.
I don't know if athletics is an actual skill. Do you have athletics?
No.
No, I don't think it's a skill. Let's just get an agility roll.
Just agility?
Yep, -2. But I'm going to add your martial artist and brawler into it, so you counteract
plus
that.
6, so it would be 9. -2 would be 7.
No, your brawler martial artist just cancels out the -2. So it's the...
Because the... Oh, it's my strength, sorry. I see what you're saying. So I'm going to re-roll that.
What did you get?
I had a 3.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I'm gonna...
Reroll or add? Reroll or add?
Stay there. 3. 3.
Hey,
6.
6. Okay. So you slide down, roll away, and now you can shoot at a -2.
Alright.
A little laser pistol.
Damn.
Alright.
Damn.
It's 13.
The dreaded
so,
13.
Yeah, 11.
11. These things have a really good dodge, so it's a hit, but not a raise.
And I never even bothered to write down the 227 pulse lasers damage. You got it there?
What is it?
The 227 pulse laser.
So I know what my C18 laser pistol is, but
I was pretty much like, yeah, I'm not ever using this thing. Didn't even write it down.
Plus, I bet my laser
Lasers.
pistol's probably a little bit better than yours.
Sorry, the TX...
It just says the 227.
Oh, the
pulse
Wilkes.
laser.
The Wilkes 227 pulse. It can fire semi-auto or a 3-round burst, if you want to do that as well.
Let's do the 3-round burst.
Okay, so roll 2 more of your shooting dice.
Oh, I see. And Lord. 8 and
6.
4.
Okay, so only the one hit
That
out of the 3.
Yeah, one super good.
2d6 plus 1.
Is there AP on it?
Yeah, sorry. The damage is 2d6 plus 1. AP is 2. Rate of fire is 2. ROF, it might not have it on there.
Yeah, it is. Range.
Range
that's
is
super important.
18, 36, 72.
Cool.
And shots are 24 if it has ammo.
It does.
Semi-auto 3-round burst is its benefits. Semi-auto is you can double tap, and it will give you +1 to hit and +1 damage.
Gotcha. I don't know how I made it this far through the game without ever writing down any ammo.
Well, what?
That's what I'm saying. Are you kidding?
Because you're rarely ever out of your suit.
True, but you think that ammo would be an important thing for my guy. Okay, so the one shot's 2d6. Six. 7.
7.
AP2.
AP2. You hit it, there's some sparks. You don't know if it actually took any damage or not.
I'm just glad I hit it. That was some quick on the feet movements there.
Mm-hmm.
Engage from a distance, not disengage.
Alright.
Haters.
Haters.
So,
They hate us because they ain't us.
So do we need to roll anything, or do you need to tell us what happens based on us hearing him?
You wake
yell?
up. You wake up to a scream. Then you hear a staccato burst of laser fire.
So it sounds like you're going another round by yourself.
Look at that, Joker.
Hey, that's not too bad. Give me the bennies.
Joker and a 3.
Think.
You guys with your stupid piles of bennies.
All right. So level-headed and quick is not kicking in. Well, actually, quick will kick in for you. But level-headed isn't because you're not awake yet, so I'm just giving you 1 card.
Okay.
It's King.
Hey.
Shawnee is also same, getting 1 card. She gets a 4. It gets an ace.
Oh, I thought it was a fucking Joker.
So, it's going to go first with ace unless you want to try to go first before it.
I mean, I don't feel like that's going to be a whole lot of damage to be done to it.
It's not mega damage. Like, this thing doesn't look like it's a mega damage structure. Like, your pistol should be effective against it if you can hit well, like you were busy rolling away last time.
Yeah.
Also remember that you're +2 hit, +2 damage for
so
everything.
I'm definitely going to shoot it now that I feel like I've made a correction.
Say also you don't
3-round burst?
or sorry, this time because of
Yeah.
Okay, so the rate of fire on it is a 2, so it can't actually do the 3-round burst. It can just do fully auto. Okay. So roll your wild die +2 of your shooting dice.
Okay.
As a
and say take that DBs.
Take that DBs. Take that DBs, the Samus. You shot this
Take
guy.
that DBs. Hey, that's not too bad. It's a 6 and a 9.
+2 on each, remember?
Oh,
so
8
and 11.
Yeah.
One's a hit with a raise.
Perfect.
What you doing, Bandy?
2d6 plus
He's
1.
investigating.
So it's going to be 2d6 plus 3 this time.
Correct.
She's like, why is James shooting with his pistol? Or his pulse
So
rifle?
10 for the first shot.
Okay.
AP2, and then 11 for the second shot.
So you're like, and like you slam into it, like, you know, areas you see, like one of its arms like just goes limp. There seems to be damage in its hip area for the other shot. It's not shaken because these things are automatons that don't become shaken, but it is obviously taking damage. It is wounded as it tries to attack you.
Sugar, turn off the...
Oh.
There is no ammo counter. I'm going to have to modify this gun so that it has an ammo counter alarm on it.
Whoa, yeah. It just, like, it takes 1 step forward towards you, and it's trying to hit you with, again, like, all 4 of its blades coming at you, but its hip damage, just, like, it stumbles and trips, and you're backing up now, like, and it just slices through couches and chairs, and, like, but it's kind of just now on the ground, crawling with its blades at you. It still seems crazy maneuverable and fast. It's just... its method is now hampered because of your damage.
Sweet.
So your combat and all this stuff going on, and
Guess I would jump out of my bed, grab my little laser pistol, and open the door.
You have your vibro claws?
I do, but
he grabbed his pistol.
Alright.
So
technically back in the day I was more of a shooter first rather than a melee person. I could melee because I'm big.
you see, like, you're looking down the way because you're the furthest room because it had the big bed. You're looking down the way and you see James, like, backing up as this thing is crawling, crazy ass thing, and you kind of just do a quick sweep just to, you know, tactically see what's going on in the area. When you see a second one is, like, stalking low, like, all kind of folded up, and its legs are kind of like moving all weird, like up here, and it's like walking towards the back of him, but then it's like sees you open the door, so it turns towards you.
Good timing.
Mm-hmm. Good thing you scream like a little girl.
You can try to take a snapshot at it. It'll be at a -2 if you want.
Might be good. Just
or you could do something
drawing
else.
the attention. Yeah.
Am I allowed to also like yell as a free action, like, James, there's a second one, just so he has some sort of awareness that
you're not just shooting at the ground. Like, wake up!
It's like, what are you doing, B?
No, I'll take a snapshot at it. Why be thick that? At a -2, you said?
-2.
Damn, if only that 10 on the 10 actually meant
Meant
10.
10.
It gets me every time.
That's why, I really hate those dice. Like, they're so specific. If you know how to read 10-siders when rolling for a percentage, then you never need that type of die.
I only got a 3 then.
3? Alright, so you just snap a shot off. I'm going to spin a penny. Add a d6. I mean, you don't have to.
No.
Okay, so you snap a shot off at it. It's definitely focused on you now. And that's where it's going. So...
What is Shani?
Oh, that's Shani.
Yeah.
So Shani opens her door and she has her sword in her hand. She's looking around.
Is this a hallway?
No, this all 3 of your rooms just open up into. So it's weird, 70s bachelor padded out, big long area, big long motel. Just imagine an entire motel.
It would be like this. But then we would have 3 bed compartments here. This would all be couches, and this is where the kitchenette
half walls
would be.
and kitchenettes
there
and
might be a
dining.
little thing here to separate this space, and then over here is an entertainment center and some chairs and stuff like that. It would just be one big long room that's kind of separated by half walls, retainings and stuff.
An odd image that I have in my mind is, do you remember The Long Kiss Goodnight? Did you ever watch that movie? The hotel that they're in, when she gets her memories back and is the badass. That's the, did you ever bite a virgin in the ear to distract them from the pain? No. Normally I just sock them in the jaw and pop goes the weasel. But they're in this shitty motel and it's got this 70s pimped out motel and there's little half walls and they're furniture sets all out there. This is just one big long one of those. So, but yes, it's pretty much exactly like what you said. So little half walls, kitchenettes, lounges, entertainment areas, the kitchen area, all that stuff.
I just wanted to determine if Shani came out of the room and I'm...
So she's between you two. He had the last room on the left, the last compartment on the left. You had the last one on the right. She's in the middle. And so there's him on the ground backing up firing at that one. There's you shooting at that one. And she just... Whoop.
I'm not on the ground anymore.
No, you're low. You're...
I was just curious if it was going to run into her before it got to me.
No, yours is on your side. She looks at yours, which looks damaged and hurt. Sad. It's yours looks damaged already. Beethoven's looks clean, but Beethoven, in her mind,
probably in less danger.
He can take care of himself. So she starts making her way towards you.
I punched that guy in the jaw. Oh, I smashed a glass in his head.
You did.
In my own beer.
All right, so that was her turn. It is new shuffle time because of the Joker.
Fuck, I should have used a Benny. I forgot we got one. Whatever.
You always do that. You spend a Benny? No. I'm
No.
a pile
Look,
of them.
look at that thing. And that's one of the things about meta currencies, and something that I don't particularly like. I like how it can offset bad luck.
Mm-hmm.
It's really needed, but it's just those potions in RPG games. I buy them and I'm going to use them when I really need them, and then I end up never using them.
They're expensive.
And
when's the next time
I just never thought about it, or I overcompensated other places, or I just dealt with it without it.
My big one's always that it takes up space in my inventory. When supply is limited, and I've got this awesome potion taking up a slot that's never going to get used. It's really just limiting me more than it's doing anything positive.
So, count how many bennies you end sessions with, which was interesting back in the day when this system first came out for Deadlands. That's how you got experience. You got experience in, you got 1 for playing the session. That's it, 1 point. And it was this system. So 1 point got you nothing. You needed 2 to raise an attribute tool.
Gotcha.
Or whatever it is. So at the end, any bennies you didn't use, any luck you didn't have to use, you would roll a die. And on a 4, 5, 6, that would convert into an XP. So it was, you can spend your luck during the game to be badass, or you can hold it with the hopes of advancing. And the more badass you became, the more you could hold.
Yeah.
So they kind of got rid of that system because of it.
Well, it seems like it would stack pretty quickly. Like you just play your sessions with your bad luck, and at the end roll a bunch of experience, and then the next round get more experience, and the next round get more experience.
That is correct. That's why they got rid of it. It was a very interesting mechanic, but it created really uneven characters because those people that had shitty luck had to spend their minis to survive the game, and those people that had good luck all of a sudden were advancing. So it penalized, even you were a great role player, you got penalized if you had bad luck.
Yeah.
Nine and ace.
Dude, I'm kicking these things' asses. I think this is probably my best battle period, and I'm like not in my armor.
Jack King 6. Ace 7 for Shawnee. And ace for them.
But I have the diamond. Is that first?
No.
Damn it.
That is last. So ace of... Actually, no, it's not last. Clubs is last, then you, then heart.
Really, 3 aces and a king.
Yeah.
I go last. Just
You go last
and I'm king.
that on a king. That is crazy.
So out of heart, diamond, and club, who goes first?
Heart.
They go first,
So
then me. Then
it's spade, heart, diamond, club. So Shawnee is last. You're second. They're first.
you keep saying spade, heart. Oh, that's club. Sorry. Spade,
Yeah.
heart, diamond, club. Okay, cool. Okay.
So the spade is not out.
No. So the heart goes
Ace of
first.
spades. So the heart goes first. So they're rallying and it's trying to kill you. It really wants to kill you.
I really want to kill it too, so let's get to my turn.
Your parry is a 7.
Yeah.
Damn it.
I'm fucking roly-poly, man. I knew that was going to come in handy eventually.
What's your parry?
7.
God damn it! Oh!
Uh-oh. You're too big.
Yeah, you are, apparently.
I was like, the crappy thing about rolling a 7 is that you probably rolled an 8 on a d8. So
Right, so that's 3 hits, 1 with a raise.
3 hits?
3 hits.
All 3 of those rolled 7 or greater?
No. 3 of the 4. It has 4 blades. 3 of them hit you.
We're going to have to take you to the emergency room again. Brain damage.
What's your toughness out of armor? Just no armor, no nothing.
No armor, no nothing.
Yeah.
I guess it's 6.
What's your what's the other one thing? What's your vigor?
Vigor's 8.
So 4 plus 2 is 6. Yep. And you have nothing that gives you bonuses to that crit. I don't think you do.
No.
All right. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. 6, 12, 18.
Jesus.
18, 23, 24, 25.
For one strike.
26, 27. 27 for 1 strike.
You are incapacitated.
Yeah, you're going to need to spend a penny to soak, I think.
No problem.
Soak it. I'm not even going to roll the rest of the damage. That was 1 hit. Well, roll soak.
Oh, fuck. That's my vigor, right?
Yep.
Plus wild for these two, right?
Fucking
Correct.
need these, apparently. 4s.
Want to spend a penny?
To add to it?
Whichever.
Survival Benny. I mean, you could add a 6 to your 4.
How do you want to do it?
I can reroll and hope I... Let's just reroll. Screw it.
Wah, wah. 2.
2.
So you soak 2 damage.
No, he soaks none if you rolled 2.
Yeah. Well, you just like woke up, walked out, and then you got like the T-1000
Skewered.
blade just right through your chest.
4 of them. 2. Let me make sure bennies are...
Let me go, Patty, while you decide the fate of Beethoven.
Yeah, I need to do that too. You want to make me a drink?
Sure. What are you drinking?
There's the rest of that Red Bull plus The good stuff. By the good stuff, I mean the stuff in the plastic bottle. So, with bennies... Now to look up damage. A character may spend a penny to make a soak roll, which is a vigor check. Success in each raise reduces the number of wounds suffered from the attack by 1. Thank you.
Yeah, I poured it about as strong as the bar, but you had less Red Bull than I thought, so that'd be tough.
If the character soaks all the wounds from an attack, he removes the shaking condition 2. Don't count the wound modifiers he's about to suffer when making this roll. Timing. A character may only make 1 soak per roll per attack. If a soak roll eliminates 2 or 3 wounds, for instance, the hero can't make another soak roll to do that. The character can also spin a page to him. Okay. Now I gotta look up. You can use bennies to reroll any trait test. Make an entire roll from scratch. If you're firing 3 shots, you'd roll all 3 plus the wild. You can keep spinning bennies and rerolling as long as you like, and take the best of your attempts. Take the best. Okay. So, here's your deal. You're gonna soak 1, but it did a lot.
Mm-hmm.
You can keep spinning bennies to reroll it if you want, or add a die. And it adds it to the highest.
But how many did I take total? Like,
all right,
shouldn't that
so
be known?
20...
Because I would have to stage to a certain amount. Not
no,
be...
like you can only take... So you've taken 4. You've taken, 1, 2, 3, and incapacitated.
Mm-hmm. So
this is enough to take a kill check. If you... Actually, I think it should be 5. So incapacitated, then dead? That's right. Right? Incapacitated, then dead. If you take any more than incapacitated. Death and defeat. Yeah, so incapacitated, so 4. Incapacitated makes you roll on the death and dismemberment chart. So you've taken 4 damage. So right now you're reducing that roll by 1, so you're only going to be at the -3 mark, not incapacitated. You can roll a d6 to add to that 4, or you can re-roll the soak completely one more time.
Are you dead? Not you.
Aww.
Well, what do you mean one more time?
So you can re-roll. You can roll the soak again and try to get a better result.
I rolled it once. I spent a penny. I re-rolled it.
You rolled it once.
You rolled the soak twice.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you rolled the soak. You have to spend a penny to roll soak.
Mm-hmm.
And then you spend a penny to re-roll.
And then you spend a penny to re-roll.
Yeah,
Have
so
you spent 2 pennies?
Yeah.
Okay. So you can do it again. You can spend another penny to roll
I
again.
was like, that sounded like I could spend all my bennies
Yes.
to keep going.
Keep going and try to get the highest you can.
And then whatever the best roll is what gets taken.
Is what gets taken.
So I'm at least soaking 1.
You're at least soaking 1 right now.
But does it have to be a reroll every time?
No. You can take a D. You can also spend a penny to add a D6, and then adds it to the best roll.
Okay. You should do that. Because your best roll is 4.
Mm-hmm. So we'll spend a 3rd penny and add a D6 to the 4.
There we go.
9.
Okay. So you've soaked 2. So you're only at a -2 right now as this thing comes up and skewers you.
The GM is nice that you didn't have to fight the other 3 arms.
Yeah, and I didn't roll for the other 3 attacks. because once you're incapacitated, I figure that's enough, and I drain 2 bennies out of you immediately. So, whew. Okay. The one on you.
Oh.
I already rolled and missed.
Yeah.
Right? A third one unfolds in front of Skorka. Skorka's now hosting us.
Oh, sweet. Is he the potion shop guy?
Yes, he is. He wants to know if we want to hear his prophecy. Right now we're in the middle of combat, so we got to hold off on that. Thank you, Skorka, for hosting us. The one attack you missed. The third one unfolds itself and attacks Shani. And hits once. No raise. Uh-oh. 6, 10, 12, 13, 14. She does not have her armor on yet. She has 6. 6 to 10, 10 to 14, so that's a hit and 2 wounds. She's going to spend a Benny to soak. Her vigor is D8. There we go. 6, 10, 10. 6, 7, 12. So she, 4, 8, 12, she soaks everything.
She's soaking wet.
You.
Fire on the same one. I'll take it down. So
you hear the sounds of more of them behind you, and also the sounds of pain and slaughter from your companions.
More than the 3, or like more coming through the door?
No, there's just the 3.
Okay.
But everyone's engaged, essentially.
All right. 5 good enough to hit?
No. You hit. Ooh, with a raise. Yep.
So 13.
Hit with a raise.
And then, so I'm doing the 3 shots, so I'm supposed to roll.
Oh, you're supposed to roll, 2 shots, because the rate of fire is 2.
Oh, okay, cool.
So roll an extra shooting die.
Sorry. Alright, so 5 again, so that doesn't count.
No.
Alright, so just the 1 shot.
I forgot that you're shooting, so you're using your movement to back up, because it's keeping you engaged. So you back up, you shoot.
Alright, so 6. So 11 AP2.
You hit it square in its little gearbox in the chest, and it finally just like a couple sparks, some parts fall out of it, and it like moves forward, and then it just seems like it winds down and collapses.
Like that, guys, come on. I'm just kidding. It took like 3 terrifying rounds of good luck to even. That's probably my best string of rolls ever.
She is swinging at this thing. There we go. There we go. It's hit with a raise. It's MD. So she just... And this thing turns into parts.
Oh, I guess I should have done it like that.
Well, she has a magic sword that's on fire,
no,
so... Go.
I'm gonna go back to my room, close the door.
I gotta go back to sleep.
The ultimate disengage, go back to sleep.
Nope.
Not like
Good
going
night.
back to sleep, but I'm just like, I clearly just got hurt by this thing, so I'm gonna try to put something between me and it.
Oh, you really are running back and
He really is.
I really am.
throw the bed up as a barricade.
Am I allowed to grab something during?
Sure, what do you want to do?
At this point, I will grab my claws.
Alright. So you disengage, move back in the room, shut the door, and run over to where your claws are, grabbing them. Next round.
And to be fair, I'm pretty sure this is the way it is.
10 queen. What?
I had vibro claws that got fitted for the power armor. I still have.
You still have your vibro claws.
Because they have a different modifier.
Right.
So I wanted to make sure.
2, 6, 9. You are clearly shaken. Joker for Shawnee.
Oh, sweet.
Joker, Joker, Joker.
Good.
Take that, DBs. Take that. I can't see. Take that, DBs. And the one lone one that's on you gets a queen. So, queen of spades. So first queen. What did you get? Nothing. Joker. She's just gonna go. She wants to finish this thing off.
Why wouldn't she?
Because she usually likes to wait and watch us get hit a couple times.
Unlike other people that just waited and let her get dropped.
Wait, what?
In the garage.
Oh, yeah.
You just had the Joker, and instead of going up and finding out where the sound came from, you let that witch touch power armor come up and drop Shawnee.
It's because I forgot that you can just move anywhere as a free action.
Yeah. She's spinning she didn't hit, so she's spinning a Benny, and she hits with that, and it's MD, so shatters it.
It took me 8 shots to get that thing down. Shawnee's just like, next.
I mean, finally, it's about time. Shawnee can just wipe things out and be badass. But,
Yeah, I was fairly impressed with my performance.
She was. The only person that didn't perform well was...
That's right.
Beats.
He was 3B.
All right.
The one thing also had 3 attempts at him and didn't hit him.
Yes. That's 7. Though your 7, it just... everything came up Millhouse. All right. So before we get to the aftermath of this encounter... Savage Rifts. Yes, we were playing some Savage Rifts here. They just got ambushed.
What's that name?
Ezra Harden. Ezra Harden? Is that how you pronounce it? I don't know. Ezra Harden. Yeah, we're playing some Savage Rifts. We've got as the thing says, we got a Glitter Boy, we got a Dog Boy who normally is in power armor, but they got ambushed in a hotel.
While we were sleeping.
While they were sleeping by some weird... mechanical automatons with blade arms. So, all right, we're going to take a quick break, and then we'll be back. Bloop. We'll be right back.
We should have tried to say Frozen.
And you guys can talk to this guy.
I can't read it from here.
Can you read that?
It's Victor Diaz from the Google Plus Savage Rifts page. Nice game.
What? Well, thanks for coming and watching us. I'll be right back. No one else is leaving. You can keep talking to them.
I need a drink. I have to pee. Do I have to stay?
No, go.
You see a new bloop. He's saying something. Just stand up. Yeah. I can't believe that right now. I was about to say, fucking kill me. I don't care.
Don't even care. Sorry, I can't see anything from where I'm sitting. What is the Google Plus Savage Rifts page? Let's hear the prophecy while they're in the restroom. Who's Victor Diaz? Is it somebody that we should know? Or?
He's from the Google Plus. So Google Plus has the Savage Rifts community, and he's from there. So he... Ezra Harden.
I totally can't see what he's saying from here.
He's just saying the same thing. It's a place the community can talk about Savage Rifts.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, so the story so far, since you're just here, is our characters, they've been through a lot. They've been through all over the place. They're currently investigating Kansas, and in my Kansas, some weird stuff is going down. There are these creatures from beyond the rifts that are coming through and corrupting the area. There's this weird location where the earth has risen up into a giant wall, and there's a massive ley line storm, and anyone that goes up there is lost. It looks like two realities are trying to clash in western Kansas. And they have kind of gotten stuck in the middle of it. They've been sent from Castle Refuge to go find a cyber knight that left Castle Refuge to investigate this place or to find someone here. And they've gotten embroiled in all the stuff that's going on here, including politics between Wichita and Dodge City, these witches and witch touch that seem to be corrupting the land and people and animals around the area. And all kinds of things. But they've finally got a lead to find their missing Cyber Knight. And that's when these autonomous assassins have tried to kill them in their sleep, outside of their power armor and away from their big guns and weapons. So... It is the aftermath. You open the door, and Shani is standing there with her flaming sword. The automaton that tried to kill you is in pieces. You definitely now, out here, besides Shani staying in front of you, smell magic in the air.
That was my question. These things are magic.
Yes. These things are techno-wizard.
Can we search
or corrupted.
Search the rubble for insignia, because I know the Iron Mariner likes to stick stuff on there, even though I know they probably wouldn't be doing this.
After being on the ground, after being destroyed, they all of a sudden kind of like superheat and slag themselves. They don't completely disappear or set anything on fire, but there's no like gears or pieces or anything that's left untouched or recognizable. They just look like mounds of metal. It's at this point that the door swings open. And everyone's and Laverna, the concierge that came and read you all the messages, is standing there. And she's holding some kind of weapon.
Like a gun? Or like a weapon, like a frying pan handle?
It looks like a double-barrel shotgun, but the barrels, from inside the barrels, it's glowing purple. And she's like, sweeping around. And if you remember, she smelled faintly of magic before. This weapon is obviously magic that she's holding. And she's like, are you all right?
We are beasts. Right?
No.
Yeah.
She heads over. She just kind of like flips the gun back, and it just disappears into a purple mist. Oh yeah, and this whole play, that entire place, Kansas, I'm very proud of my Kansas. I have this whole lore written up. I'll have to post it somewhere sometime. I'll try to find the Google Plus page and post it all on there.
Actually, I was able to find it. I just Googled Anthony Diaz Google Plus, and it gave me
yeah.
right away.
So I'll post my information about Kansas and all that stuff up there. But my Kansas is really weird, and it's kind of out of the way. No one goes there. Like the Pecos Empire hasn't come down. Lone Star hasn't gone up. CS Missouri hasn't gone west. So it's just kind of like this this place which was a refuge for a while, but now that the campaign of Unity is coming and the what's the empire you were part of? The Empire of Worth got taken out by Lone Star. Everything's starting to kind of come down on them, and they're feeling the pressure. And the coalition's starting to move in. But there's all this weird stuff going on in Kansas to begin with. Weird stone structures, weird forests, the witches, the ley line fonts, the ley line spouts, the ley line storms.
Fucking storm.
Yep. And the rise, which is a big thing. There's like this weird part of the land, like just the entire north-south of the entire state has a 100-meter high wall of earth that just rose out of the ground and is trying to be torn to another dimension, or another dimension is trying to force its way into Kansas. So she pockets that, she comes out, she reaches into her, like she's kind of like in a nightgown with her like coat over top, and she reaches into her coat and pulls out this vial. The vial is of some swirly blue mist, and she like comes up and she's like popping the top and like looks like she's just about to like do something with it, and she stops. She's like, "Oh, sorry, I know how you guys get with this. This is magic, but it'll help you. Is that okay?"
Don't be a pussy. You've already been a pussy once tonight.
He's a dog boy.
Sure.
So she kind of just like splashes it on you, and it seems to like go right to your wounds. Like, so it's like whoosh, and it just congeals like clink, clink, clink.
Oh, it is on AJ's tab for sure.
All of this is on AJ's tab. Make sure you tell Shane that everything we got before we left is on AJ's tab. Mm-hmm. So she does that. I normally have to make a roll, but we're kind of in downtime, so it doesn't matter. It just coagulates and then becomes your skin and fur back. It regenerates your wounds.
Both of them?
Both of them.
Both.
It's just not, worth it at the moment to roll because you guys are going back into downtime, and this happened during downtime. So, and she looks around. What are those?
Nothing now. I mean, they were large automatons, four-bladed automatons that came after us pretty viciously. They turned to slag after we destroyed them.
She kneels down next to them and it's like kind of just runs her fingers over top of the slag. Definitely techno-wizardry.
You're a techno-wizard.
Do you say that?
No, I would not do that. Pull my gun on her and think, ooh. Any idea where these might have come from?
Well, automatons, techno-wizardry. Got a pretty good idea.
Yeah, something tells me it's Dodge City Powered Water.
Or someone affiliated with them. There's very few techno-wizards that are outside their authority. She stands up.
Well, might be time to bounce. Get the fuck out of Dodge.
I love how that's a real thing you can say. Because you are in Dodge City. Yeah. Get the fuck out of Dodge. Alright. So yeah, Laverna's like, we'll cover for you. I mean, how do you want me and Montgomery to handle this?
Well, we can't say that we're killed.
Obviously your armor is going to be gone.
I don't know, how do you want to cover this up? What do you want them to tell the technocrats?
We don't have to report anything at all. We could just clean this up and pretend it never happened.
I like that one. That mystery left with them would be fun, I think.
Alright.
Let's do that. I'll handshake, enjoyed the services that she's provided.
Yeah.
We would tell her thanks for all the help that she's given us this far, and we hate to leave her like this with this mess, but that's probably our cue.
She reaches in, back into her coat pocket, and pulls out one more vial. It's these weird, like super ornate glass vials with like the It's like the lead glass with the filigree, metal work all around it and the stopper cap. And it doesn't even have like a solid base. It's got a point. Like the bottle ends in a point.
You can't even set it down.
So you can't even set it down. Well, she pulls it out and she puts it in her hand and it stands up. And she's like, I have one left of these and I think you should take it.
All right. Shawnee take it.
Yeah. She says, use it exactly like I did and it'll do what it did. So
always splash it on the dog boy.
Splash it on the dog boy.
I'm hurt. Why is it not working? Just keep splashing it on Dayton.
She's like, I'll look into these things and clean up the mess.
Give Montgomery our best.
I shall.
As we pack up.
Yeah.
I mean, it's early evening. How late is it? Like we were all dead asleep.
Yeah, it was like 4 a.m.
All right, so that's a good time to get started.
Right before the morning sun starts heading over. So by the time you guys go back in your rooms, suit up and get cleaned up, suited up, all that stuff. When you come back out, she's in her full outfit, and you didn't hear the door open or close or anything like that. She's in her her dresses or her skirts with her bodice and her blouse and all that stuff, and she's like pulling up the slag with like a long flat. It's like almost like a spatula, like paint scraper spatula type thing. And like popping it over and looking at it and like she's like a lick. No, she's not licking. Anything more you want to ask or say to her before you head out?
Have you ever seen anything like what we're describing specifically? Because I know techno wizards a lot of times leave their fingerprints in their designs. Have you seen anything that's a four-bladed, talon-nosed machine?
I have not, actually. And that should be a dead giveaway.
I wouldn't even know that about techno wizards, would I? So maybe through discussion.
Through
our knowledge of
the world and history. I mean,
plus we've
long
been
enough.
dealing with techno wizards for the last couple of days and stuff. Okay.
She's like, but now it's something to look out for. What did the face look like?
Bird skeleton, like a beak with hollow eyes.
Ah, a bird. Okay. Good to know. I'll keep a lookout for that. Anything I discover, I'll make sure the Chancellor knows.
I don't know if I totally trust that Chancellor. Okay. Well, let's get out of here. Unless you've got something else you want to say.
No.
No?
Alright, you guys suit up, get in your power armor, and get the hell out of Dodge. Assume you go by and get Daisy on the way out.
Yeah. She said she wanted to come.
Right.
So we split the party, we can have an extra.
So she was already ready and reporting to go. She was already still at the Bad Deal Saloon.
Yeah, I'll probably skinny the night's events to her. Maybe she's seen something like that. The bird skeleton robots.
Bird motif. That's got to be something. Wait, but who's this person that helped you?
What's her name again?
Laverna?
Laverna. I mean, she seemed a little shifty, but she did help us out and healed him. Do you know a Laverna? No, she's worked at the Cozy Six the entire time we've been there.
I've been watching the Cozy Six, and I don't know a Laverna that works there.
Note to self: don't trust Laverna no more. Oh wait, never mind. This player knowledge, not character knowledge. Sorry.
Alright, so she's in her Titan. You guys are in your power armors. Shawnee's on her little Techno Wizard scooter. Hover scooter. And away you go. out north of Dodge City, into the dark, or into the sunrise at this point.
Riding into the sunrise.
You're riding into the sunrise. She's like, we're going to skip the farm. After they went to the farm, they took me to a hospital in Elks Lodge.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be the jumping off point. That should tell us, or at least get us noticed enough to find where these folks are. And we just need to hope that it's the right type of noticed, because apparently there are gargoyles that like to hunt that area.
It's always gargoyles.
Always gargoyles. So.
We haven't had... that might be kind of fun, though. We have a shot at gargoyles.
Yeah. I am totally okay with killing me some gargoyles.
Like gargoyles. Or just punting gargoyle lights because it's fun. Oh. So north you go into the sunrise. I think the slowest person here is you and Sean. Like those things can book. Like I think it's 60 miles an hour, right?
6 plus 1d6. I think it's 30.
Is it? I thought their pace, their normal cruising pace was like, or full tilt. It might be like 30, 45 miles an hour. Right. So Daisy's just flying around you, scouting out the area, keeping eyes on things. Again, this is Kansas. It's big, long, open, lonely roads. She even takes you down the road that they met up with the Vernons. Which goes towards this one farm, but it has an offshoot that goes towards Elks Lodge. And you head towards Elks Lodge.
You're right, it's 60.
60, yeah. Is that cruising or is that max?
It's running.
Running speed. So if you run full tilt, like cruising would be like 30, 40 miles an hour. I think you're just a little bit under that, and of course the Titan can go as fast as it want. The little Techno Wizard scooter can only push like 50, and that's if she drains a lot of her PPE into it, so keeping it at like 30, 35, 40 is the better bet.
I'm glad to be re-armored after that little incursion.
Yeah, again, like you had one fight outside your armor where you whooped ass, and then another fight where you're like, I almost died. Those things, like, that was exactly what someone wants to do to kill a glitter boy. Kill the pilot. It takes you the better part of the day, so you're heading up onto Elks Lodge that evening as the sun sets. And Daisy flies up and sets down, and she's like, we should take it slow from here. Let me explain the situation. And she's explained a little bit on the trip. So, a group of gargoyles fled or escaped the Federation of Magic and came where almost everyone else comes when they get away from everything else in this crazy world, to Kansas. And they moved into an old salt mine, an abandoned salt mine in northern Kansas. Apparently, they had started relations or trade of some type with a town called Elks Lodge. And Elks Lodge was a hunting lodge town that provided a lot of meat for the area. They had herds of elk that they maintained and bred and kept wild, free range, and would go on hunting expeditions. Essentially, like every year they'd go out and actually hunt them. That wouldn't be like a slaughterhouse situation. It was free range, open range hunting and cultivating these elks. But something happened between these gargoyles, as they are evil DB demons, and the people of Elks Lodge, and then the gargoyles just came in one night and slaughtered everyone. the last time she had talked to Jax, Jax was very conflicted because his aunt said that the Ironworkers Union were behind what transpired in Elks Lodge.
Isn't this also where you lost an arm? Was the Elks Lodge battle when Jax lost his arm?
The Elks Lodge battle is where he lost... Well, he got taken out, but the first Elks Lodge battle, when they got wiped out, is where he became a full conversion Borg.
Oh, that's right. That's what
Like, he got... As a kid, he got killed by gargoyles, or almost killed, and he woke up on an Ironworkers Union table, resurrected and owing his entire life to the Ironworkers Union.
That's right.
So Jax was pretty conflicted about the whole thing because he worked for the Ironworkers Union, and his mother was killed trying to negotiate with these gargoyles, and gargoyles are evil. But apparently the Ironworkers Union may have had something to do with instigating this whole thing, and who knows what. So again, she was unconscious for a lot of this because she got taken out at the farm. And this is just what she remembers and what she's discussed with Jax afterwards. But she's like, yep, this place is probably going to be watched, or at least there's going to be patrols of gargoyles that go through there, but the folks that deal with Praxis also come here to try to salvage, apparently. So we need to go in as quiet as can be, so we should wait for darkness so you're not so...
glittery?
Yes.
Sounds like a plan.
So you wait until sunset. Elks Lodge is not a big place. It is literally one cross street with about a dozen buildings, one of them being what seems to have been an old hospital, which is what Daisy will say, this is where they took me after I had my injury to try to stabilize me.
This was the auto dock that we hooked her up to, okay.
So there's a hospital on one end, there's a hospital, there's a machine shop, there's some housing in neighborhood area over here, and to the south I think there was a hunting lodge. The Elks Lodge itself. Oh no, the Elks Lodge itself was in the middle. Can't remember what was to the south. So nothing at this point. Just sporadic buildings and such. From your monitoring of it as the sun goes down, there's no movement, no nothing going on.
We should still approach with caution.
Absolutely.
So let's go around it a little on the west. Kind of come up,
So towards the machine shop?
Yeah, because then you've got the lodge in the middle and then the hospital is north of it. So let's make a round towards the hospital from behind.
So go around.
We're aiming for the hospital, aren't we? Sort of.
Like, you don't, like, you're naming for anything that's going to get you the attention of Dame Thorpe and Praxis's group that should be coming here, and not get you the attention of gargoyles and gurgoyles.
Gotcha. Alright, so... Oh, shit. I don't know, what do you think?
Oh,
I can't sneak up. We can send Shawnee up ahead to scout.
What would we think they would possibly salvage here? Probably
medical supplies.
Probably stuff from the hospital.
Machine shop. There also was probably the largest repeater or communications hub at the hospital. If you guys could tap into with your power armors, you could try to get a message out to the area or monitor for any chatter.
I like that idea because I was already kind of headed for the hospital, but I know Sugar's probably been itching to do a little something. She's kind of been out of the game for a couple of days. So.
If there's like the only, she kind of through her scan, she's like, if there's anything left here that can be powered, it's going to be the hospital. It's the only place that's going to have independent generators.
So I'll go to the hospital. You go to the machine shop.
Or you guys all go to the hospital.
I don't want to go together as a party.
I was like, what's to the east again?
Neighborhoods. Housing.
Alright.
Are you falling asleep here?
No, I just have to separate things.
What things are you separating?
Player knowledge and
Oh, okay. I know we're getting to the part now where our previous Rift game is boiled over onto this one. I'm like,
because I remember what's at the machine shop, or what used to be at the machine shop. But if that's the way you'd like to travel,
You're the boss,
we
man.
can go for it.
Do you want to head into the machine shop first? And it's on the way.
It's around the side, and it's... First off, there could be salvage there. Second off, there could be power there.
Mm-hmm. Let's check it first. It is on the way.
We might as well go to the machine shop and then head towards the hospital, just because we are trying to hopefully run into these salvagers. So
you head around to the machine shop to find that most of it has been gutted and collapsed. So it looks like some battle happened next to or on top or in the place, and most of it's just been knocked down and blown out.
there's no sign of movement or
Nothing.
power
No
in
heat.
this area.
No heat, no power, no life signs, no nothing.
Let's press on to the hospital.
So keeping going around, you're in some pretty open, sparse area as you're heading from machine shop or up around to the hospital. The hospital's ground floor seems to also have seen some better days. Most of the windows are blown out. Most of the doorways or entryways have just been, cored out, destroyed, or something large has blasted through them, like power armors or gargoyles have tried to get inside or move in and out. But the hospital is like 4 stories, so besides other signs of wear and tear and damage, most of the other floors seem fine.
Well, I'm not going to be able to go in there walking around in my armor, am I?
You can go into main lobby areas, stoop down. If you started crawling, you could. Like all fours, going through hallways. But you're useless at that point. You can't bring out your gun. You could just, pull out your sword or your laser rifle.
Is there any structure around the building that will allow me to climb to the roof?
You can just climb up the building. I mean,
That would be what
imagine like just going into floor by floor by
that makes
floor.
sense. Okay. Well,
Sugar says, though, like, a couple things. Sugar's like, if there's a generator, it's probably long dormant, but any one of our power armor's nuclear reactors can power it back up. We need to get, like, if we're going to have communication, we need to get that generator powered, which is most likely in the basement, and communication... It doesn't matter where the communication is throughout the building. The easiest way to tap into it is on this roof.
Well, since I can't go inside very effectively, I could climb to the roof and provide cover and scout. Like, I can see for quite a while. Sugar and I'll be able to get the whole area. Is there enough of a retaining wall on top that I can kind of kneel down and be a little... No, so I would be a big, bright, shiny spot on top.
If light or anything like that reflects against you, I mean, even kneeling, it would just go up to your thigh, like the retaining wall around
still,
the side.
it would be better than nothing. It would put me on top.
And it's like there's air conditioning units and other stuff up there. There's even like the elevator
The
housings and the stuff that you can hide behind.
Sure. So that's what I want to do.
So, climbing.
Oh, damn it. I have to roll.
You have something now, don't you? You have hooks.
I have a tow winch. Oh, it's
Yep.
+2 to climbing.
Yep,
Hey.
there you go.
So 6.
Yep, that's...
Sound effects by our game master.
There we go.
And so Sugar said,
Generator will be in the basement.
Alright, so me and
Most
Sean
likely.
are gonna head to the basement then.
Alright. So in you head, most of this place looks like it has been absolutely ransacked 100 times. Everything is gone.
Is Daisy still with us?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. She'll go up
Actually,
with
I'll
him.
Her
I was
sadness
gonna
would
say,
make more sense if she stayed.
I just
back
want to
there.
make sure, like, hey, if there's a fourth person here,
Yeah.
they should definitely be with you.
So she just... And so she can sit up there. She's not using, like, she hasn't been flying. She's been walking with you guys. She just does a little jet up there real quick. Because she's not, it's pretty loud to use her.
It sounds like an airplane.
Well, it's an engine that propels someone at very high speeds. Oh, she got her duck. So, you're up top looking around, and you guys go in, ransacked, all this stuff. You start heading around looking for power. Daisy taps into your sensors to try to close in on it. Make me notice checks.
All of
Nope,
us?
just the people on the roof.
Okay.
One, 2 is not going to do it.
9.
All right. So you're up there. When you see off to the north in the distance, as you're looking around, just this quick flash of light. Like, could be a thunderstorm, could be anything, but it just, out of nowhere, it's just been black skies all around, and then just
How far away is it?
several miles.
Oh,
Like,
okay.
it's like at the edge of your horizon vision.
Gotcha. So I'll skinny that to Daisy, but have Sugar keep an eye in that direction.
So Daisy heads over, hunkers down. She pulls up like a full suite binocular set, starts looking. You guys easily enough get to elevator shafts or stairwells that can take you down into the basement, which is creepy enough as it is being in a hospital basement. There's like basement, sub-basement, and you have to get through like the morgue area and all this kind of other stuff and try to find the facilities area. And that's when there's some light from the ground. And you just see a couple streaks of light after like the flashes on the ground. A couple streaks of light go into the air.
Signal fire. It's not like missiles coming at us. It's
Not
just like,
at you.
no,
This is far off, but it looks like it doesn't look like signal flares. They're not staying.
mortar.
They're just streaks. So it looks like it could be fire from heavy weaponry.
battle in the distance. Okay. You guys what's going on down there, guys? We've got some movement up here in the distance.
Still searching for this generator.
Is it something we should be concerned about?
Not yet, but the sooner we're done here, the sooner we can move along. It looks like there might be a battle coming this way, or at least out in the distance.
Well, who would be battling in the distance?
I don't know. It might be the people we're looking for if you want to go aid them and drop our current thing. It looks like it's only a couple miles. We could be there in a few minutes.
You said these flashing lights. They look.
I mean, we are trying to find where these guys are. Would they be battling something? Whoever they're battling, it's most likely. Well, I don't know. It could be Coalition and Gargoyle, but in which case we could just watch.
If it's only a couple of miles, let's start scanning frequencies now.
Yeah, let's do it.
All of our things have at least a 5-mile
So
radius.
let's have Sugar pull out some power to gun and stuff and boost.
She's like, I am not sensing any open broadcast radio or even closed band radio, but I am picking up something very interesting. And she kind of does this overlay. and you see these like as the like sweeps across your vision, as she hits a spectrum across it. You see these little like what almost seem to be blue fadey lights in the distance going back and forth. She is like, now where I'm from, those are tight beam laser communications. Very advanced and not something I have seen in your world as of yet.
Could we intercept them if we got closer, or do we have to actually physically be in the path of the tight beam?
You would have to not only be in the path, but have a receiver and the encryption code. Very secure.
That means we're not going to be able to pick up what they're saying, even if we boost the stuff. So I would say that right away. It sounds like we're not going to pick up any communication from these guys because they're using tight beam technology. So we're going to need to approach one way or the other. So get your ass out of the basement.
So, I mean, just as easily as you got down there, you get back up.
Do I have to climb down?
No, you can winch down.
All right. This thing is awesome.
Heading north?
What do you think?
Is that where all these lights are coming from?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Like, do you want to head towards battle, or we don't have to?
And it goes quiet for a bit, and then there's more in a different area, and then it goes quiet for a bit, and then there's more.
Might as well. We can check it out. I mean, it's it's dark, so this was the best time, or a better time, to check it out.
All right, let's do it.
North you head, and like since it keeps kind of moving, and you're not sure exactly where it is, like you kind of just, okay, this is the last place it was, so you head towards that. You're running along. It's dark. You're getting into some weird terrain. Just kind of like open, rocky. The darkness seems very cloying in areas. You're getting that weird mist feel from like the forest, but there's no forest around.
Suddenly, ravens. You're dead.
But
Brain damage.
Eventually, there's another like big flash of light in the sky, and you see a couple shapes in the air.
So it's kind of an aerial battle looking thing.
For that.
What's up?
Yeah, for this area, you're like, shook, and you scan, and you see at least 6 gargoyle-shaped silhouettes in the sky, in your vicinity.
I'm glad you said gargoyle, and then you were like shaped silhouettes. I'm like, okay, like I was like gargoyle vehicles. It's gonna be crazy.
And they have wings; they can fly on their own.
I get it.
They could be in their power armors. You don't know.
Definitely skinny. That there's some gargoyles afoot. Yep. Ready my guns.
Do you plant?
How are we within range?
It's hard to tell. You're not getting a rangefinder ping. You just see the silhouettes. Probably best not to plant.
Yeah, I was gonna say not yet. So let's
move a little bit closer.
Let's do it. So it looks like they're battling something else in the air, but I'm only seeing silhouettes of the gargoyles up there.
So,
or does it look like fire is coming in and out of the clouds?
Well, you haven't seen fire coming back up yet. Like you saw, again, you see this sporadically, and you haven't seen the ground fire since you started running towards it. You now just saw the sky fire, whatever that is.
Well, so can we do a quick notice of the ground area as well?
Nothing is around you at the moment that you can spot easily in the darkness. But what happens is, Sugar goes, "Oh, hold on. Brace yourselves. Yeah, these things are pinging like those ravens. They're not showing up solid on motion."
Witch touch gargoyles.
Yes, and 6 witch touch gargoyles descend upon you.
Luckily, they can fly through our armor.
No,
I'm just...
4-6. You are definitely caught with your pants down.
Good thing I took the GM's advice not to lock them.
6-9. Joker.
Hey.
For
so we keep getting this one Joker.
Right? You don't see the other one. Like, is it here?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I saw it earlier in there.
Alright, so Benny's all around. Benny's! Benny's. 1, 2. Ace 3 for Shawnee.
It's 2-2. Oh, sorry, 2-4. He'll get a 4.
And Ace 10
Damn.
for the witch-touched gargoyles. Alright, so again, Ace of clubs for Shawnee, so the Ace of hearts is going to beat that. You have a joker, so you're the only thing that can go first, unless you want to wait to see what they're doing.
And they are literally descending upon us.
They are descending upon you, and it's really hard to see them because they are just basically melting with the sky.
So if I shoot, you're saying I'm going to have some negatives.
Oh, yeah. You want to wait?
No, let's shoot.
All right. Fire. Yeah.
Alright, real good time.
They're pretty spread out, so you are going to have to concentrate fire on probably one where you think it is.
Okay. There it is. So where's my other...
Range is going to be an issue, but sighting it is. So I think with your armors, your shooting bonuses? You have shooting bonuses. Oh, you just have things that negate other stuff.
Yeah,
-2 total.
But with the +2 from the Joker straight up.
Straight up.
That's why I'm shooting now. 7, 8, 4, 5.
7, 8, 4, 5.
Is that 2? Sorry.
7, 8, 4, 5. All hit. The 8 will be a raise.
Cool.
Good shot.
Because this is just all focused on one.
One.
Right?
Yeah.
So 3 hits, 1 with the raise.
Correct.
7, 8, 4, 5, or did all hit?
All 4 hits.
4 hits.
So
1
4
raise.
hits, 1 raise.
Okay. First hit's gonna do 16. AP 6 if it matters.
Alright.
Then we'll do 14. Then we'll,
We rolled 2 6s, 2 5s, 2 6s. Okay.
then we'll do another, what was that, 16?
Okay.
And the
And
one with
then
the
last
raise.
one with the raise.
Already
So
at 17. Oh, shit.
In the kitty.
22 plus 4, 26.
Alright. So you're just like, you think you see where one is, and you're like, just do a little cone right there. And as your, red hot slugs fire out of this thing, you start to see them like just fading off into the, up into the darkness, and then like a whole bunch of them just start disappearing into something, and you hear a loud screech, and a blacker than black hole in the sky just tumbles out. So it looks like one has been downed. There you go.
I'd make that motion towards James, but it's dark, so maybe he can't see.
Yeah.
My sensor is
You'll
sweet.
show your heat. Thumbs up. All right. You see like 6 red little dots all of a sudden intensify into a single red dot, and that red dot becomes a line that streaks down and just carves a path, and it's going towards you.
Like a laser beam?
Pretty much.
Oh, okay.
Like, looks like it's something with its 6 eyes just
Gotcha.
searing the ground.
Protection against lasers now.
Yeah.
If it's laser. I said it's like a laser, but this is obviously arcane fuckery.
Obviously.
Damn it. It's a miss.
He's
Like, I really
damn
wanted
it.
to hit you.
Well, why don't you roll for something attacking me? See what happens.
Just wipe you out again for the session.
At least I got to, fire a decent shot first.
You don't know, like I said, there's 6. That was, one got taken out, 1 shot that beam. You don't know what the other 4 are doing.
Oh. Okay.
Shawnee. Shawnee pulls out her flaming sword and armors up.
So I've got something we haven't done yet with this is that I was said that the tow winch on this could possibly be an anchor.
Uh-huh.
Am I able to throw this on the ground and stomp it in real good so that I can be anchored but have like a berth to run around in a circle so I can kind of aim like this or move around?
It'll work for a shot.
All right, I'm going to do that then because I don't know where they're coming from.
So it gives you 1 free shot without pylons.
Gotcha. Sweet.
Will it break the winch when he shoots?
No. It'll come out of the ground.
It won't even come out of the ground. It'll rupture to the point where if you shoot again, it won't help you. So the first shot is clean. Then you have to plant or reset your pylon or reset your winch.
Gotcha.
So
that's it. Everyone's like, "What the fuck is that?"
That's a pretty good use. That's a good little one shot.
Mm-hmm.
Like I
Don't
get to
know where it's
aim.
coming from, yeah.
I get to aim for one, like move and shoot on one shot, or have a full 360 aim for one shot. I like that. Good work. I'm gonna give you a penny for that.
Yeah.
All right. That's everyone.
Yep. That's reshuffle for the Joker.
Reshuffle for Joker.
I told you my friends in town from England, and they're not hanging out. They want me to meet afterwards. And I was like, sure. They're like, all right, we're gonna meet the cow pony.
Oh, really? No. Just say no to the cow pony.
I don't
Tend
see him
to.
once a year, so. He's like, do you have any major aversion to the place? And I was like, yes. Major. But I'll meet you there regardless. It's like, all right, good man. The Joker?
5 ace Joker. The same Joker. You guys are just destined to kick the shit out of this encounter, apparently.
Yeah, I have the big stack of diamonds.
Oh! Shawnee got the other one.
What?
Hey, there it is.
You guys really just are destined to kick the shit out of this encounter.
To be fair, I guess they're witch touch, but it is gargoyles.
Right, where this is the only witch touch thing that we really feel comfortable attacking.
Oh, yeah, we know what we're doing.
Yeah.
All right.
Daisy's like, this is crazy. We're like, watch this.
So...
Oh, you didn't even go for Daisy last time.
Oh, right. Yeah.
It's okay. We'll just keep it in mind.
She's sitting down and, like, gearing up. She has a mini railgun that she's using.
Do you want to draw for her? Or
No. I'm just going to have her...
Narrative.
I'm going to have her go on your turn.
This Joker goes first.
Probably
Shawnee says, hold on, guys.
Yeah, do some of that lightning storm
Yep.
shit while they're in there. Yeah.
So she is doing her control weather tattoo and basically just doing heat lightning throughout the sky so that it illuminates the sky and they can't hide anymore behind it. So you can now see all 4 of them. 2 of them have descended and are on the ground, like basically just coming at you as fast as they can claw and run. It's creepy to see because their wings are like in front of them as protection, and they're just like aliens coming at you. The other 2 were kind of like swooping up and going into like not dive bomb but strafing runs. So it looks like they're gonna heat up their eye face laser things like that other one did. But now everything is visible in the battlefield.
Gotcha.
Do you want to go or do you want to wait?
Should I go or should Daisy go? She's going on my turn.
No, she goes after the Joker.
Okay.
Unless you want to command her to go first.
No, that's fine. I will shoot at these ones on the ground.
Okay, you can hit.
Taywardess.
You can hit both of them with the Railgun's spread.
You get pluses to this because of the Joker.
+2. No more vision penalties, so it's just straight.
Nice.
Okay.
Nice.
+2 to all.
So there's technically 2 8s because of +2.
Uh-huh.
And there's already 2 10s right there.
Oh, no.
Which are, well, yeah, we'll see what they turn into. So one is an 18 and one is a 15.
That's all 4 hits, all 4 raises.
Boom. Roll some. You want some extra 6s for your damages? This is the kind of rolls that keep the GM up at night. Where you're like, I wrote this great encounter. We're like, Benny, 20.
20.
Okay.
That's 10, 15. So 17.
Also, that was 10 plus the 6, so that was 16 plus 5 more.
Oh,
I
that's
rolled
a 7.
this one.
Oh, sorry. This is like a 1 from where I was
Oh.
sitting. Okay, so that's 16. So
Plus
now
5
it's,
is 21.
so it's 20.
Plus 4 is 25.
That one's dead. So...
Just don't waste your good rolls. It's
17
Okay.
and 17 again.
Alright, that one hits the ground. It still seems to be moving.
Wait, so you killed one and then the second?
Killed one. The second one is severely wounded.
Those are the ground ones you were firing at?
Yep.
Mhm.
You didn't even get a chance to see what these things were shooting at. You just walked up like, fuck them.
Well, I mean, they came
Well-
at us. It's not like...
Oh, Daisy goes. She's going to try to finish off the one that you grounded.
So we didn't ask for this fight.
I know I get it. I'm just saying we didn't even get a chance to see her. Just we walked up.
She wasn't prepared. She just kind of sprays over top.
Is that really
1-1-2-2. Yeah, that was her roll.
Now it's their turn. I'm definitely.
Now it's their turn. All right,
Oh no! What did they pull?
the queen.
Oh yeah.
So the one
No, 10 and 2.
Yeah, that's
on
right.
the ground tries to recover from shaken and does. He just kind of sits there and screeches in anguish.
It's the roll for
Yuck. Make me spirit checks if you have anything that's about fear or
Oh, yeah.
any of that stuff. What do you have? What's it called? Strong will or
That's actually +2 to my intimidation and taunt and test of will, but I have brave, which is
Brave.
+2 to fear
Jesus.
test.
wait? What'd you get?
I got a 4.
Okay, that's fine.
Oh, okay.
Remember, it's heavily wounded, so I mean, I'm not gonna have you waste. I shouldn't have said that, and I should have just had you waste penny. But
Oh, thank God they changed the plan.
I can keep.
okay, yeah, you're fine. It kind of just screeches in anguish down there, and it's blood curdling, and tries to worm into you and put its doom and gloom. But you're like, it only did that because it's almost dead. Like, what? Get out of here.
That's not scary.
I
Gargoyle,
laugh.
please.
You laugh. Prepare for laser of doom from the sky.
The two. Okay, so there were 6 total. 1 got dropped, 1 shot. 2 hit the ground. The other 2 were dive bombing. So now there's still 3 in the sky. All 3 are lasering, doing their laser face, whatever the hell it is. They're going to dead now. 2 went on the ground. One of those is dead.
So what happened to the first one that I shot?
Dead.
So then the second one I killed.
On the ground.
Yeah.
Dead.
And then
Now
the
there's
other
the
one on the
screaming
ground.
one.
was
Screamed.
just screaming. So
And then
there's
3 in the sky,
Okay.
all laser facing.
Sorry, guys.
Sorry.
Yep. No. Yeah. Keep me honest. All right. Laser face at you. Laser face.
Laser face.
His name is Taser.
What was that from?
That's from Guardians
of the
2.
Galaxy.
Thank you.
Guardians of the Galaxy 2. Taser face? Misses you. Hit Shawnee.
I know that part cracks me up every time. I'm like,
What is your toughness without anything?
5.
All right. You were shaken, unless you want to spend a penny.
that stack.
Oh, no. It's 12. 17. She gets her magical armor. That's still not
I was
enough.
going to ask that because it's magical attack, but she has armor that's magic. So
Yeah.
Yeah, she's generally better protected against things like this than you and me are.
She was shaken as well. She's going to spend a penny to not be shaken. So these things hit you, but it feels like your armor does nothing against it. Like it's into your soul.
I just got my soul laser faced.
All right.
All right, I'm gonna aim at whatever closest one in the air.
Okay.
Four, not enough.
To hit one of these things?
Yeah.
No, that's absolutely enough.
That is enough.
Yeah. It's just a 4 difficulty to shoot. You have
That's
no
what I thought.
penalties at the
Alright,
moment.
cool.
You negate 2 penalties with your offset anyway.
Oh, yeah.
So-
Also, I have our marksman. Right, I'm supposed to get a couple.
Bonuses and all that
I
jazz.
think it's actually +2 to my shoot.
Yep. So that's a hit.
6.
I'm pretty sure it's dead, but let's go through the motions anyway.
I'm not really so sure. Aim 29, 30.
Yeah, it's dead.
36. AP
Plus you would
25.
re-roll that 12.
Oh, yeah.
divided by
36.
12? You rolled a 12?
36, so now it's
to another 12, I think.
What?
48. So 56.
Yeah. There's like you shoot, and it's like your shot just goes into the sky. There was nothing there. Like it just erases the existence of this thing.
You know how to shoot gargoyles.
I was like, welcome back to Risk, buddy. Your,
Sugar, turn off the low ammo counter.
remember your staging.
Yes, sir.
Remember what?
Your staging.
Yeah.
And now your toe line
Yeah, that's-
breaks the ground. You're still secured, but you can't shoot again without
That's
risking
fine.
coming up.
Can I use a free action to like pull it back in? Yeah, alright.
And you can risk shooting again. It's just been like the ground is buckled and broken. Like it just every time now it's a better and better chance that thing's going to come undone.
No, because wasting a turn to pile in is fine. Wasting a turn to get back up and then pile in is way worse.
8-3.
I don't lie, when you get numbers like that, the party as a whole is usually in pretty good shape.
Ace Queen 6.
Yeah.
King 7 for Shawnee, and 7-9.
No. What is that?
That is a Cyber Samurai from Japan. So in Japan, there's 2 things going on. Tokyo has gone super like technocratic, like kind of like coalition. So they have like juicer ninjas and cyber samurai, but there's most of the countryside has gone back to mysticism. So you actually have like there's cyber knight-esque samurai who can focus their ki and are like the warriors of old, but they can just take their normal sword and cut through power armors and things like that. And it's like the Mystic Japan versus the Techno Japan dichotomy. Like the Emperor, Techno Emperor wants to rule everything, and the Mystic wants to have their shoguns and have their daimyos run the country. It's pretty cool. They also have Mystic ninjas and Juicer ninjas, and then they have Crazy ninjas. So
what do they call it in Westworld? The place with samurais and shit.
The Asian.
Oh, the fuckhead. It's not Eastworld.
I know, that's why I was like, it's not.
I think it's Samurai World. I think they called it something like that.
What do they call it? Shogun?
Shogun World.
Shogun
You're
World.
right, Shogun World.
All right.
For people that think that Westworld was too tame.
Ace.
Yes, but of course. Jokers were pulled. Actually,
No, like this is the first round. No jokers were pulled. All right, so there were 6. You killed one right off the bat. Then you killed one on the ground. Then he just detonated one. There's one on the ground screaming. There's still 2 in the air.
That's right. Like,
Might as well pick that last one off.
I know. The one on the ground, you mean?
I mean...
Yeah, I know. I might as well. Well, okay.
It's 2 shots though, 7-7.
I think this is one of those moments that he needs to know about. I technically have
A 1.
5 dies, 3 1s, and 2 7s. So
Is
that
your
means
wild die a
a
1?
wild is a 1, and I have 1s on
Okay.
2.
Your gun has suffered a malfunction. It has jammed. Yeah.
I was like, this is one of those things he's always been like, you gotta let me know if that happens, and it hasn't happened yet.
Yeah.
So I'm like, fine.
There it is.
I get 1s, but it's usually on one or the other. So the first 2 shots go off without a hitch, and then the second 2
The
shots.
second shot.
That's when the malfunction occurs.
Where is it? Like, been waiting for this moment, but
I've been dreaming about the day.
Sometimes I wake up in a cold sweat thinking about your gun jamming.
critical hit. So I get to make up something that happens, but I'm pretty sure there's something specific happens to guns.
I thought there was something weird, like it jams and you have to spend a certain amount of turns or a turn fixing it before you can fire again. Something like that.
So you start to fire, and something in the coil just locks up. So
no shots go off. Right?
no shots go off. You're going to need to spend a turn fixing that.
Because this has happened before, not to me, but to some other character at some point.
So, like, you've just been firing this thing every round, full auto. It's gotten too hot, or something in the feed went wrong, something in the belt, crimp, whatever. It's just nothing's going. Hear the coil winding up, but no metal's going through it. All right. She goes, well, since you didn't finish off the one on the ground, she's going to call lightning. Shawnee is going to call lightning down onto the one that's screaming on the ground. Because she doesn't like that thing. She doesn't want that thing to continue screaming.
I also do remember Daisy somewhere out there in the world.
Oh, right.
I don't know what time she's going to go.
Let's do her.
What did Shiny roll right
Well, let's see, because Daisy would also have been still shooting at the one on the ground, so I want to see if Daisy finishes it off before she commits to the lightning. She finishes off the one on the ground. Daisy does. So Shawnee is going to call lightning on one that's flying, which she successfully does. It hits it.
It tickles mildly.
Yeah, it tickles mildly. Just things just screeches and kind of like and like resumes being its wings again. You got a 8, and it got a 9. So there's only 2 left.
Isn't your turn anyway gonna be?
It has to be the luck here. I mean, I pulled my wind shout, so I can't.
I mean, you could shoot. You'll just.
Yeah, but no. Come on now. James can't shoot unless it's an emergency. He's only done it once and it caused damage. There's
Right,
no way
it's
he'll
going to
do
cause damage to the gun. You can't do that. All right, so
Remember
1,
how he didn't
2,
shoot
3,
the gun
4,
for,
5, 6,
4 more
7,
turns
8.
after that? Yeah, it was a pain in the ass.
You. So
Laser face?
laser face at you. And second one. So now it's 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Daisy. Laser face.
Right, so how many are left? 2, right?
2. So 1 laser faces him, 1 laser faces Daisy.
Oh, okay.
So Daisy misses. You misses. Fun. Now you go.
So if you would have done it in that order,
Set.
I would have been so mad if it would have hit me.
This is going to be great if I get to go before at least one person.
King of clubs. 5.
There's still a chance.
Oh, no, King's not too
King's
bad.
pretty good. There's only one time that we've seen a king go last.
Oh, you got honeycomb. Wow, what a shitty draw for you. 2, 6, 8.
You're not going last.
King of spades. 5.
Don't do
8.
it.
So
I get to go second.
you can take a second.
8 of clubs. Suck it.
All right.
They
She
go
is going to
last.
call. Yep, she's going to call lightning again. And wow. So
Shock Dave.
you see her like she's like calling lightning, doing this stuff, and something goes weird, and she's like, "Ugh," and you just see like the same black negative space like these creatures are made out of that seems to envelop them. Just all of a sudden like shoots out of her. It's like she screams and hits the ground unconscious.
That's not good.
Too much magic around witch touched.
Is she shaking?
She's unconscious.
So,
So yes.
She rolled the soak.
Okay. Up close.
Alright,
Soak
I'm going to
my
fire
own
on
fuck
one
up.
of them, obviously. Four is a strike.
4 is a hit. That's all you need.
Was it somewhere like a 6 or something with your plus?
Oh, that's right, it's a 6. I keep forgetting
Yeah.
about that. Let's get these big heavy dice out.
There's 2 left. Right?
2. Well, there's about to be 1. I don't think he can roll low enough to let this thing survive.
I'm just saying.
I don't know.
That's a pretty bad roll. I can see it from here. I bet it's still dead.
It's 22 AP 25.
Yeah, so 10 to 14, 14 to 18, 18 to 22. It's dead.
Do I need to roll a
You
repair
do.
to
You
fix
need
my
to do
gun?
a shooting roll.
Ooh, it's shooting.
Yep, it's the same thing.
Your
As
gun
good as you
knowledge.
are with a gun is as good as you are maintaining your gun.
That's nice.
Hey,
Because
there
that
you
would
go.
be a 6.
That will fix it.
Really? My guns?
Sorry.
My gun's back.
My gun's back.
Till
If you got a raise, you could shoot again this turn, but you want to spend a Benny to add a d6 to it?
You can shoot.
Why not? I got a stack.
You got a
full of
stack.
things.
I know. 6 bennies. I have 5 left.
D6 and no roll a 1.
I rolled a
6.
6.
There you
I
go.
don't need to
Yep, it's
continue.
good to go. Pour some fire into this last witch-touched gargoyle.
That's an 8, not a 10. I saw the one on my wild. I was like, fuck, here we go again.
One with the raise. 9, 6, 5.
6, 9, 5. 9, 5, 9, 6.
So wait, 6, 9, 5. 9 is a hit with a raise. Nope. Sorry. 6, 9, 5. 2 hits. Because technically it's multi-action because you fixed your gun this round.
Okay.
Still.
That's fine.
So 2 hits.
I don't know why I rolled that. Sorry.
12.
Plus 4, 16.
Okay.
It's already 15.
That's dead.
That's
Oh, sweet.
So the last one drops.
26.
As that one falls out of the sky and the heat lightning is now dissipating because Shawnee's unconscious and the magic is draining. Off to your north west, you see something coming at you, and you see 3 things. One is a big-ass chopper-looking bike with a big-ass person on it. Looks like they have a big-ass sword on their back. The next is a woman on a robotic horse. She looks like she's in armor and a cloak is flying out behind her. And the third is a man, like bare-chested except for leather straps. Looks like he has a Spartan helmet on, and he is on a golden glowing psychic horse, psychic steed. Looks like it's also got like the mohawk mane, and these 3 things are riding at you. And
Fire. I'm just kidding.
I draw my vibro blades. Claws, sorry. Just for the one on the chopper.
get
Test
him!
of
I want to
strength.
see it. And we'll end here as you begin to begin your foray into the Battle of the Saltspire.
All right.
Dayton, take us out.
This has been another episode of Savage Worlds Riffs on the Wileyverse. Thank you for tuning in. Especially thank you to Ezra Harden, Skorka, and 2 gin bottles. We will be back tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Arizona Mountain Time for some old-fashioned Dungeons and Dragons. Until next time.